All of their picks are documented at the site. And again, as I always do at the close of the show, please wager responsibly. Do not risk what you do not have. This is for disposable income only. Okay, and it's to be treated as an investment. So what does that mean? If you have $100,000 to put aside, you put that in an account. You're not betting $100,000 on one game. That's lunacy. You're betting a percentage of that amount, okay, and you watch the account grow. That's how we do this, okay? It's on you to come up with the money. It's on us to provide our research and analytics, and we do that pretty damn well. But please be careful. Don't bet the mortgage, the rent, the car payment, the food. Please gamble responsibly. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Give us a call at 888-994-6669. Hope you enjoyed listening to the show. Catch us back tomorrow on Sports Investors Daily. Ending the show with one last recap. Everyone out there, have a great Saturday. All right, here we go with the recap for Saturday, January 18th. And for everyone listening in Kansas City, you guys start your quest for the first ever three-peat in the NFL. So we have a special offer just for you. Give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. We have a top-rated divisional round play, absolutely free on a recorded line this weekend. We have a false favorite in college basketball. We're 4-1 on those plays. And as an added bonus, we're going to give everyone in Kansas City a play between Houston and Kansas City for free on a recorded line at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. Our free picks in the NFL this season are hitting at 66%. That's the whole year, regular season and wild card round included. We got Houston, Kansas City today as a bonus, a top-rated division round play as well, plus a college basketball false favorite, all for free, all on a recorded line at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. That number again, 888-994-6669.
This program was paid for by 1220 Enterprises. The opinions and views expressed are not those of local stations. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes. Use of this information in violation of any federal, state, or local laws is prohibited. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The previous show has been pre-recorded and paid for by TakingVegas.com, KFNZ-FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Playoff football is the most meaningful football that you'll ever play in your life. I cherish every single play, man. I really do. When you're in it, you're always trying to strive for greatness, being greater than what you are. You know, obviously, there's a historic run and something that we can achieve that no other team has ever achieved. You know, that fuels you.
I mean, are you? Are you ready? You know what time it is.
You should be, Mac. You should be.
It's time, Drew. Oh, it's time. Chiefs football season finally has begun. Welcome in. Good morning. It is that time. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey with you for the next 3 hours till noon. We will lead you right into the official Chiefs pregame show. Wow. Mitch Holtis, Dana Hughes, Dan Israel, the whole nine, Josh Klingler, they're coming up from noon until game time kickoff, 3:30 right here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for the Kansas City Chiefs divisional round coverage is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. It's that time. 913-586-7965. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the hype. If you need to share some of that adrenaline with someone, I'm there for you, man. I am ready to go. Lather me up, baby. I am so excited for this game today. Let's go. I want to know what you guys are most excited about. It is Drew Nixon and myself, Mac Morey, with you for the next 3 hours. Drew producing the first hour and a half and co-hosting with me, and then we'll switch. I'll go on the other side of the glass, and we'll kick it and have some fun. You're going to hear from every host on 96.5 The Fan. We'll even touch base with one of our friends, Josh Briscoe. We'll hear from your guy, Jay Binkley, for a while. Of course, Dusty, Bob, Carrington, Alex, Cody. Everyone's going to be calling in. We're going to hear their predictions on the game, their thoughts. We're going to talk to you guys as well, give you guys some opportunities to call in, text in the whole show, 913-586
We're also on Stream 2, Mac.
7965.
We got the stream up.
Yes.
Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. You want to watch us on this Saturday morning?
Please.
We are here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as excited as we can be. I was telling you as I came in, Mac, I almost woke up naturally at 7 o'clock because for the first time it feels like it's opening weekend for the Chiefs. It's like a game actually matters a lot.
Yes.
This is where the season starts. It all feels like the culmination of, okay, 3 games, starts now, here we go.
See, and meanwhile, I woke up at like 7:30. I felt like it was a sleeping in. I felt amazing. So
I bet you did.
I'm so pumped for this. Let's go. I want to know what you guys are most excited about today too. You as well, Drew. I want to know what you guys are most excited about today because I know for me, I'm going to be at the game. Make sure you say hi if you see me. I will be there. I'll be tailgating it up. I'll be with your guys' good radio friend and buddy Bob Fesco. I'll be hanging out. My brother, one of my best friends, is in town. One of my best friends who's not a Chiefs fan, but it's okay. He's rooting for the Chiefs today. He's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, so he's still getting over his heartbreak, but he'll be here. First Chiefs game experience for him, so he's excited. He'll be loud for us out there as well. It is going to be excited today. So what are you guys pumped for today? Because as Drew said, I mean, it really has felt like a while. I mean, it has been a while. It's been 3 weeks since the Chiefs have played, and it's been, 4 weeks, 5 weeks or so, over a month now, where a game's really had some weight, some gravity.
I feel like that might be, it's weird. That might be the thing that I'm most excited for. Obviously, all the storylines and all the headlines. It all comes down to this point where it's not just the regular paint on the field at Arrowhead. It says divisional round at Arrowhead, potential to get to another AFC title game. Like, it just feels like I enjoy, I know that I'm not a Chiefs fan necessarily, obviously, but I think that
you're hyped.
But for this game, I'm really hyped up because it feels like just the buzz in the city a little bit more. This week, I was talking to our guy, Rob Britton, who we're going to have on here in about 10 minutes to go.
Yes.
This week feels like it's taken forever because on Monday, we all know who the Chiefs are playing. Everybody's like, all right, here we go. It's time. It's go time. It's almost here, and it's taken a little bit slower this week to get to this point, but it's game day. It's exciting. I saw Jeff Darlington tweet out the line at Arrowhead for everybody to get out and tailgate early on.
It's happening.
18 degrees outside, and people are ready to tailgate for 8 hours leading up to kickoff. Very, very exciting, the vibe right now. I'm most excited for that just in general.
Yes.
It feels like playoff football today where the wild card rounds didn't necessarily feel like playoff games when we were watching them. It just feels a little bit different today, and I'm excited for it.
The atmosphere is as hype as it gets. The adrenaline rushing through my body right now, I cannot describe. I am
You
just...
got all the clothes that you're
Yes,
going to have
you watched me
on?
come in a scurry today with
bag?
my big beach bag of the plethora of layers that I must put on in an Uber that I have already scheduled to pick me up right after this show to go over to Arrowhead and get loud with all of you guys because I'm most excited to watch Patrick Mahomes II today. That's what I'm most excited about, Drew. Today is a FU Mahomes game. Everyone's been talking about Lamar Jackson. Everyone's been talking about Josh Allen. Oh, MVP debate. Oh, what incredible seasons. Oh, it's the battle of these two top-tier quarterbacks Sunday night. What's it going to be? What's going to happen? Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes hasn't played in 3 weeks. He's well-rested, coming off back-to-back Super Bowls, on the road to try and do something historic that's never, ever been done before. And it just feels like it's crickets. No one's talking about it. And he gets the first game of the weekend to come in and say, what's up, everyone? Remember me? Remember who I am? Remember who's hoisted the Lombardi Trophy back-to-back times? This is who I am. This is what I do. Just to welcome to the NFL world right off the bat, first game of the weekend and say, what's up? Remember? I think you guys all forgot. Yeah, that's fun. They're battling on Sunday night for the right to play me. And I think that's what Patrick Mahomes is going to remind everyone today. I think today is a Patrick Mahomes FU game because of the narrative around the NFL these past couple weeks. And I think he's sitting there. We know he takes this stuff personal. Just like MJ, it's time, baby.
He reads the headlines. I'm sure they find a way to get to him in some way, shape, or form. Do you feel like in the first drive, it's one of those F it, or it's taking Xavier Worthy deep?
Yes.
It's the first drive. They get the ball. The Houston Texans get the toss. They defer 2 or 3 plays out of the gate. All right, Xavier, let's go.
Let's go. Rip it.
Let's go do this.
Yes, down the sideline.
Can you imagine if they actually hit it too? The one time they haven't been able to hit it like that all season long, and then they hit it in the divisional round. Bang, 7-0, go up. I think I would not be shocked if they actually took a shot in this one. No. All right, baby, it's go time.
Yes.
This is who you have to deal with today. This is who you're going to have to deal with today. This Patrick Mahomes, this Xavier Worthy, this offense. We're going to come out and be ready to go right out of the gate.
extend. I think we'll see a lot of quick passes early, but you're right. Early on, one of those first couple of drives.
Come on, Andy.
Take that shot. Little play action. Maybe get him outside the pocket. Make Will Anderson miss with that shimmy that Mahomes does so well, and then launch it. And the thing is that you're talking about with Xavier, you're right, it hasn't been able to hit, but now you've got your full company of pieces. Hollywood Brown can be that diversion. DeAndre Hopkins, kind of that undercutting route, taking some attention away as well. And of course, the greatest tight end of all time on the other side of the field, if you want him there too. Just for what and giggles. But I think today's the day for that as well, Drew. Today's going to have a shot play. So what are you guys most excited about from the 816? I'm in line at gate 5 right now. I love it, baby. Let's go. Get that tailgate going. Let us know what you guys are tailgating with, what you guys are drinking today. I know there's
Let Mac know where you guys are at, too, because Mac will be out there.
Yeah, I'll come say hey. I'm excited to see all you guys out there. I'm going to be out there after the show, obviously, but I'll have a couple of hours to hang out. Get going, get a little loose, get that liquid courage going to get me loud.
You're going as a fan, correct?
I will be going as a fan. Yes, I will be going as a fan with my brother and one of my best friends. I'll be tailgating with Bob out there for a little bit as well. It is going to be a blast. I cannot wait. Make sure you say hi if you see me. So I can't wait for this game. From the 913, I'm nervous because every Goliath is beaten by a David, not another Goliath. I get you, man, but also you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's what Patrick Mahomes is going to do today. He is officially no longer the hero.
He had a line similar to that at the Super Bowl in Vegas. Is that I don't know, I'm paraphrasing. He doesn't care to be the villain necessarily, but if he has to be that in order to win Super Bowls, then he's willing to be that villain. And that guy that everybody hates because he's the one who's winning the Super Bowls and hoisting those Lombardis while everybody else is not doing that. They're sitting home and watching.
Well, yeah, he can feed off of that energy, whether it's, oh my gosh, Mahomes is the greatest. Like, okay, I'm going to go show you, or they're sliding him, and that's what I believe has been happening. It's been the Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson show for the past 2 months in the NFL season. Now it's finally time. He's like, cool, you guys have November, you guys have December. That's awesome. January, February, when the season really matters, when teams are dwindling down and being eliminated, and the cream rises to the top, baby, and Patrick Mahomes is about to show us why. And also, the Houston Texans, great season, great win against the Chargers. It's over now. And we'll talk about the Texans side. Ron Hughley from Sports Radio 610 over there in Houston. Familiar voice came on Dusty Fesco and Dusty this week, and he talked about the Texans side and what they can do to win if there is those chances. We'll get to that sound later on. Of course, as Drew mentioned, we've got Rob Britton calling in just about 5 minutes away from that, and then after that, we'll get Bob Fesco on. We'll talk to Dusty Likens, of course.
C-Dot as well right after Bob. Yeah, we're going to have everybody on.
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. C-Dot right after Bob. The schedule's crazy. We're talking to everyone. So if I miss a couple, don't worry. You'll hear everyone on today from the 815. Bringing the Vegemite sandwiches to the tailgate, Mac? I don't believe so. I don't think the Vegemite sandwiches are going to make it. Wasn't the biggest fan, but we will be having a lot of barbecue, a lot of burgers.
I love this from the 316. What we do today echoes in eternity. Are you not entertained?
Woo! I love that. Let's get
what we
hype.
do today echoes in eternity. I like it. It's nice.
It's time. It's time, everyone. 913-586-7965. Extended pregame show right here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure to text in. Make sure to be a part of the show. Coming up next, we'll get to Rob Britton. We'll get to C-Dot. We'll get to Bob Fesco. All right here on your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. That's code 965 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Casino and Resort.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chronic joint pain has a snowball effect. It's not just the pain.
What that did is just make me depressed that I couldn't get back into the gym, and I was inactive, gaining weight. I had to find another alternative.
And for Chad, that alternative was QC Kinetics and the non-surgical natural biologic treatments that can give lasting relief to aching hips, shoulders, knees, and backs.
Once they explained it, it made sense. Putting what we have inside our body back into us in a certain strategic way to heal up in a natural process was fantastic.
QC Kinetics treatments take place right in the office. No downtime, no surgery. And as for the outcome,
I'm just back to bouncing around, having fun, doing my work, living pain-free.
Don't let chronic joint pain rob you of your quality of life. Discover advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. Call now to learn more. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Kansas City, are you ready?
Placement down, Bass's kick is up, and the kick is no good! Jackson throws deep middle for the end zone, intercepted! Intercepted in the end zone! Intercepted by Deion Bush! Play action fake, right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City! McCole Hardman! McCole Hardman!
The back-to-back Super Bowl champions play right here. Your new home for Chiefs football is 96.5, The Fan.
Extended pregame show on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs, who kick off today at 3:30. Divisional round coverage is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. That Chiefs pregame with Mitch Holtis, Danon Hughes, Dan Israel, Josh Klingler, the whole gang over there, starting at noon. We'll lead you right up to it. So all day, and then we've got a Chiefs post game with Logan Weber, our new friend and voice here on 96.5 The Fan. So it is going to be a full day of Chiefs playoff football. The 913 says, y'all are amped up. Just remember, there's 2 games left on the schedule after today that will increase in intensity. Oh, if you think this is as intense as I can get, 913, I've got more in the bank. I know Rob Britton's got some intensity as well for this game. He is on the line today. Rob, what's going on, bro?
Not much, boys. How's it going?
What's up?
What's up, man? We're ready to go. We're stoked on this game. Drew, you had a good question for me. Why don't you go ahead?
All right, Rob. So we all think the Chiefs are going to win this game, I think. But who is going to be the reason that the Chiefs win?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I know.
You know, thank you. Bob would have said the same thing. You know, I think today the reason is going to be DeAndre Hopkins, because there's just this feeling that everyone has that after the trade, The Chiefs intentionally held him back to protect the fourth round pick. They held him under that snap threshold. They're going to unleash him. You saw moments and glimpses in the regular season, but it was not consistent. I think now there's no, governor on, if you want a go-kart analogy. It's just full go, and he's playing his former team in his biggest playoff game of his life probably because he knows there's more at stake other than in the past. So I think DeAndre Hopkins is the reason today. So, yeah, that's a great question, but I'll take DeAndre Hopkins.
I love it. I've got a couple parlays with him in it today. I think the revenge factor, and just he hasn't played near 50-60% of the snaps most of these games. I think they're going to unleash him as far as just being on the field and a part of these plays. You got any parlays? Got any money on today, Rob? What are you looking at?
I have a little money out today. Part of my Hopkins answer is my parlay. His over-under right now, I think it bumped up to 32.5, but that's still a ridiculously low number.
Yeah.
So I have him as part of a parlay. I have Travis Kelce over 51.5 yards part of a parlay.
Love it.
Last year, I was wrong. There was no way around it. I said Travis Kelce looks like he's slowing down. He's getting older. I didn't know that in games 18, 19, 20 of the season, he was going to turn into the greatest tight end of all time again. He did, because he got a week of rest, and he became playoff Travis.
Mm-hmm.
He's now on 2 weeks rest. I'm going to bet against the idea of playoff Travis, so I have him at over 51.5. And then, shout out to Dusty. Yesterday on Fesco and Dusty, he gave me this stat that 7 consecutive games, Isaiah Pacheco has had 70-plus scrimmage yards in the playoffs. So I took him rushing plus receiving at 60-plus yards, just because that's the number, and I felt safe with it. So that's a little fun 3+300 parlay I have out for today.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah, I've got some money on Pacheco as well. The line's there's some good juice with him and Hopkins. I feel like Pacheco could get a good run in. Yeah, that was a good call from Dusty. Yeah, that was a good line there. So you got a score prediction for today? It sounds like you're leaning heavily Chiefs. Do you think they cover?
I do lean heavy Chiefs, and I do think they cover.
Yes.
I was actually, again, to shout out Fesco and Dusty, I was on with them yesterday, and me and Bob saw this game the same way. It feels like one of those ho-hum, boring Chiefs wins, kind of like the one in Vegas earlier this year where the game was really never in doubt. The Chiefs were always going to win, and you knew basically from the minute they scored, this is over. It kind of reminds me of a couple different divisional round playoff games we've seen in Kansas City in the Patrick Mahomes era. The Chiefs in 2018 took care of business against the Colts. No one remembers that game. It was a ho-hum, multiple-scorer win. I think that's kind of what we have in store today. So I have it 31-17, but it just feels like by the way, touchdown might screw the cover, but this feels like a Chiefs, coronation as we get ready for the big game next weekend.
Yeah, 31-17 is my score prediction as well. So there you go. Oh. Me and Rob, same. Great minds think alike there. Okay, you on the way to the KU game, right? Yeah, or something exactly. You going to the KU game? Is that what's happening this morning?
I am in transit right now to Des Moines to see the Hawks bounce back against K-State. A game you can hear on our sister station 610 at 11 o'clock with pregame.
There's no way they're going to lose this game, right, Rob? There's no way.
They kind of need this, right?
Lose this. There's no way.
No, this is the game. They bounce back. They're playing a lesser team. At home, this feels like the obvious bounce back, and I don't know I'm at work on Monday if they lose. So,
well, hopefully we at least go 1 for 2. I'm rooting heavier for the Chiefs though, Rob. But have fun. 6:10, as you said, starting at 11 there. So have a good time, Rob.
Thanks, boys.
All right, see you, man. Left tackle as well has been a conversation. I meant to ask Rob about that, what he thought about Joe Thuney. It has been announced that that's going to be the starter. Jeremy Fowler came out and said that Joe Thuney looks like he's going to get the starting snaps. I mean, Drew, where are you at on that? Did you lean DJ or?
No, I was Joe Thuney all the way. Collectively on Cody and Gold, because the news came out from Jeremy during our show. I think it was like a collective sigh of relief. Like, yes. Okay, thank you, Andy. Thank you for not making this harder than it needs to be, where you have looked a lot better over the last few weeks when Joe Thuney has been playing, outside of the Denver game, of course, but nobody's counting that game. Joe Thuney's been at left tackle, and yes, Caliendo's had some ups and downs at left guard, but you've been better just effectively. The offense has looked smoother. You've won games by a bigger margin in that time frame. Don't mess up anything. Just stick with Thuney. I do feel like, though, they might go to DJ Humphries only in 2 instances. One of 2 things has to happen in order for them to go to DJ Humphries, because I don't think they should. They should just ride the Joe Thuney on left tackle all the way through New Orleans.
Agreed.
Caliendo either gets hurt or he's really struggling. Let's say, for instance, they win this game today and they go on to play Baltimore. They go on to play Buffalo. And Carolina's having a little bit of a hard time. Like the guys are getting pressure through the inside. They're getting to Mahomes right away. That's going to be something that Andy Reid and company have to kind of think about a little bit. Do we actually bring DJ Humphries into left tackle because left guard is a problem? But I like the decision to keep Tooney in at left tackle. You and I talked about it on After Hours, Mac.
Yep.
I guarantee you we think collectively that Patrick Mahomes had a big voice in the decision-making.
Yep.
Andy Reid ultimately, I'm sure, made the decision, but I think Patrick and his comfort level of, hey, I've been able to stay upright a little bit more often, a little bit longer with Joe Tooney at left tackle. Let me have him, please. As I know that DJ Humphries, former All-Pro, I get it. But I like what I've seen from Joe Tooney. Let's keep it going here.
Yeah, my body likes what it has felt recently and not as achy and sore. 21, 27, 29 points in week 15, 16, and 17. That was the weeks that Joe Tooney was starting at left tackle, and they are going to stick with that. Mitch Holthus came on Fesco and Dusty, who you'll hear starting noon to 3:30. You'll hear a 3:30 kickoff with Mitch Holthus, of course, play-by-play voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. He came on Fesco and Dusty yesterday and talked about the left tackle and how, even if they choose a starter, there's going to be a multitude of possibilities there.
People ask, and yet they don't want to hear the answer. And the answer is Andy Reid's preparing for everything and playing both of them. Okay?
Right.
Think of Andy Reid's ingenuity here. And this is somewhat of their approach all the time. I have seen in an OTA where they will put, Adam Teicher's had an awesome career. He's retiring. That was cool what Coach did for him yesterday.
Free burgers.
There's one time Teicher said, hey, the Chiefs have demoted Eric Fisher at left tackle. It was during an OTA or in the summertime. I'm like, no, that's just what they do. They try to train their guys to have 2 or 3 options ready to go. So that's what it sounds like a wishy-washy answer. It's not.
Yeah.
It's reality. Coach Reid's getting ready for both of them. They both could play at the same time.
Yeah, they could.
And Tooney not at guard. Okay, so just get ready for all of that.
You heard that at the end there. That was pretty interesting. And Tooney not at guard. So they could both be on the field at the same time. And Tooney's still at left tackle. He's saying DJ could be a left guard maybe. Maybe DJ could go to right tackle. Like, I have no idea. But they have prepared for everything, and they're ready to be malleable.
Almost the way that I think about it is if they just go single back, Pacheco, hey, we're going to do a stretch run to the left side. Tooney's at left tackle. DJ Humphries is technically playing tight end. And then, you just look, to me, I just picture that sort of a formation because they've done that before with Kingsley on the outside of left tackle before, or Wanye on the outside of left tackle. If they both play, I could see them in that form. Obviously, you want everybody to stay healthy. I don't know why DJ Humphries would be in other than to do one of those like to have a heavier set. Not that you want to introduce it in, like getting him some game time, I guess is fine, but I don't see necessarily the point unless for whatever reason you really feel good about him playing left guard. I don't know why DJ Humphries would be in, but hey, I think Mitch is right though, because with Andy Reid, not too many people are more creative than Andy Reid. So I'm sure there's something that he's got in the bag that we have never seen before this season that he's going to pull out in this game or even in the next game in the AFC title game if they can get there. I don't know. There's a lot of things that people say about, they're holding back D-Hop. He's not showing the whole playbook. Andy Reid has shown time and time again that he does that. I'm sure that there's something in there with DJ Humphries design that we can't even anticipate. So I think Mitch is spot on with that.
Andy Reid's got that Mary Poppins bag, man. I mean,
it's something.
It's never ending,
something
dude.
Unique.
It's never ending, and he starts reaching in it deep right around this time of the year from the 816-3114 Chiefs. Like that, man. Okay, it's pretty close to what Rob and I had. You heard Rob's score prediction, 31-17. Rob Britton, producer of The Drive there with C-Dot. We got C-Dot coming on 9:35. We'll have Bob Fesco on coming up at 9:30. You'll hear their score predictions, get their thoughts on the game. 913-586-7965 to text into Chiefs Extended Pregame. Mac Morey, Drew Nixon, 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
For over 87 years, GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, has offered health and dental benefits designed to meet the unique needs of federal employees and retirees, military retirees, and their families. With over 2 million members and growing, GEHA continues to serve those members and families who serve us all every day. At GEHA, your health is not our business, it's our purpose. GEHA, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Learn more at GEHA.com.
Same game parlay for any game. Just place a 3-leg NFL same game parlay and you'll get bonus bets back if your bet doesn't win. Same game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own or choose from one of the popular SGPs pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. So what are you waiting for? Get your no-sweat same-game parlay on America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/Alex. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Refund issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max wager $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
At Shane Company, our engagement rings are the perfect blend of design, function, and beauty. Each one a unique work of art. We meticulously craft our bridal jewelry in our jeweler's workshop to the highest standards, expertly setting each diamond by hand, ensuring the structure is perfectly balanced, and sizing everything for the perfect fit. Shane Company offers a free unmatched lifetime warranty because your engagement ring is an heirloom that was made to last. You'll cherish your ring today, tomorrow, and forever. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
With us is Dr. Christian Hedinger with KCUC, Kansas City Urology Care. What makes KCUC the best?
Hands down, that's our physicians and our experience. We have combined hundreds of years of experience amongst our over 50 providers, radiation oncologists, medical oncologists, and urologists, often practicing under the same roof, who can provide the best integrated care to our patients. We've recruited surgeons from the Mayo Clinic, Harvard, Stanford, UCLA, and many of the other best institutions providing care in kidney, prostate, and bladder cancer. We often can provide our patients care from diagnosis to treatment to labs to scans to medications, all under one roof, all in an office setting as opposed to a hospital. We've assembled all of these physicians that are close to all different parts of Kansas City.
See the experts at Kansas City Urology Care. At KCUC, you see the best in KC. To make an appointment, visit kcuc.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This is George Karloftis, and you're listening to your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
That adrenaline is pumping. It's time. Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs. Drew Nixon co-hosting and producing with me. We're switching off. We'll go on the other side of the glass here. Well, I will in about an hour. Just had Rob Britton on. Now with you is Bob Fesco, host of Fesco and Dusty. He's probably getting close to on his way to Arrowhead. What's going on, Bob? How are you, bro?
I'm good, Mac. How are you?
Doing great, man. You ready to go? Have the festivities begun? Are we waiting to get a drink in the system? What's going on?
I'm just concerned about the gooey butter cake making it there because I did pass up the gooey butter cookies at Hy-Vee yet again. So I'm counting on the gooey butter cake from Momo today.
Yes, Momo has come through. It is already packaged, ready to go. My brother and best friend will be at the tailgate before me, so they will be providing said gooey butter cake, and then I will come and provide my lovely, joyous presents that you so often yearn for. So no, I'm excited. No, so what are you? I was asking the listeners, got some good texts in. What are you most excited for today?
A blowout, honestly. I think this will be the first game that they score over 30 points and really put on an offensive show and shut up idiots like Emmanuel Acho and anybody else who thinks that the Chiefs are not a good football team. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think today's going to be a big day offensively.
Yeah.
They're healthy. They're ready to go. I've heard that guys are pretty pumped up and fired up for this one today. They were pretty fired up last night, getting ready to go, for this game. So I'm thinking it's going to be one of their best showings that we've seen in quite some time. And I think they feel like now is the time where they can go out there and basically tell everybody else to put that in your pipe and smoke it. This is January. This is our season. This is our game. This is our league, and we're going to run it like it's our league. And it all begins today.
Yeah, dude, we're kind of on the same page because that's where I was at with Mahomes, kind of starting off the show. This is kind of an FU Mahomes game. Everyone's talking about Josh Allen. Everyone's talking about Lamar Jackson. It's kind of time for Mahomes to say, hey, remember me? They're fighting to come to have the right to play me at the Arrowhead Invitational. So I'm right there with you, Bob. Is there a player on the offense that you're keying in on today? Did you put any bets in on underdog? What are you looking at as far as that's concerned?
I'm getting ready to do that, but I think Kareem Hunt is going to play like a madman today.
Okay.
I feel like he's going to have himself one of those. I've missed all of this for the last 8 years being stuck in Cleveland, and so now I'm going to show everybody and really kind of, I don't know, win back myself for all those years that I messed up and, screwed myself out of being part of this. Now I've got an opportunity to go out there and be part of this. And so I think Kareem Hunt's going to play big today. I think he's going to be hyped. I think he's going to be kind of on fire. And he's probably going to be one of those guys that they're going to have to calm down because most of the guys on the team, hey, we've been here. We're used to this. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. But I think for Kareem Hunt today, I think this is a big game for him. I think he's going to have himself one heck of an afternoon.
Yeah, there's moments in those games where it's, hey, you got to calm down, and sometimes you can let the emotion fuel you. That might be a day for Kareem Hunt like that. You got a score prediction?
35-0 Chiefs.
Okay, let's go. Can't wait, Bob. Okay, tell Ralph to save me a burger. I'll bring the bucket of Fireball, all right?
All right, we'll see you later.
All right,
be careful driving out.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, see you later, Bob. All right, so Bob Fesco, 35-0. You heard it here first on 96.5 The Fan. That sounds pretty good to me. I don't know about you guys, but I would be all in on that. Pretty classic there, Fesco. But, I mean, honestly, over 30 points today, that's seeming to feel like a regular thing. I'm hearing from the text line, again, 913-586-7965 to be a part of the show. But there's no reason why this offense can't produce against this defense. I'm kind of curious to see what Carrington Harrison has to say. CDOT of The Drive, which you can listen to Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 right here on your home for Kansas City Sports. What's going on, CDOT?
Hey, what's up? Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Good, bro. What are you keying in on the game today? What are your overall thoughts?
Well, I'm happy that the Chiefs made the right decision at left tackle. It seemed to me to be the only decision. They played this team less than a month ago. They only allowed 1 sack against that tough pass rush, so I think bringing back those same 5 was the right decision. I'm actually going to be really excited to see if they can get the run game going. I think you saw Kareem Hunt kind of wear down the stretch, and I'm not really sure if Isaiah Pacheco has been healthy. There's been a lot of questions now with moving Tooney to the outside. Can the Chiefs run the ball effectively? So now, this offensive line is fresh. This run game is fresh. I'm going to be really excited to see if they can get that going.
How about Chris Jones on the defensive line, CDOT? We know Houston has had time struggling a little bit protecting C.J. Stroud. Does this feel like a game that Chris Jones can kind of take over? If he's able to get going, we might see him with a couple of sacks in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest advantages that the Chiefs have in this game is their front four going up against that Texans offensive line. I think the Texans have probably a bottom 5 offensive line in the league. They haven't really done a good job protecting their quarterback. And on the outside, there's just not a lot of weapons. So if this pass rush can get home, this seems like an opportunity for the Chiefs to get a couple of turnovers. They won the turnover battle the first time. I think they can win it the second time as well.
Rob says Chiefs. Fesco says Chiefs. Max says Chiefs. What do you say, CDOT?
Yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs, too. We had Matt Verderame of Sports Illustrated on the show, and he said that teams that are 7 points or more favorites in the divisional round, they've won 80% of those games. I heard another stat. I was listening to Cowherd's podcast. In games in which the Chiefs have been 7-point favorites, Mahomes is 52-5 in those games. I mean, almost every stat just tells you that the Chiefs overwhelmingly are going to win this game. They might not blow Houston out. It might be a 26-20 game, but every stat tells you that Kansas City is advancing to the next round of the playoffs.
Looking forward to it. C-Dot, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Okay, so you heard it.
Crazy stat. I mean,
that's insane.
Some of the numbers around Patrick Mahomes are just wild when it comes down to, in particular, the postseason. It's
52-5. I mean, that's unbelievable when you're favored by a touchdown in the NFL. I mean, let me remind you, over 80% of the games were one score in the NFL this regular season. So winning by a touchdown or more and being favored in those games and then actually doing it every time is just incredible. So good stat there from C-Dot. He likes a Chiefs win as well. Maybe not a cover. Said it could be maybe a little bit closer, but
I'm leaning that way as well. What's the spread now? Is
8.5, I believe.
Still 8.5? Yeah, I'm leaning that way. Again, we're going to get to our official prediction. I know you kind of already gave yours, Mac, but we'll reset it again before we wrap things up, before we send it for Chiefs Radio Network pregame. One of the things that I asked, and I thought about this a little bit, was if there's a player that has a chance to wreck the game for the Chiefs. I know offensively, we've talked about the left tackle stuff. Hollywood Brown. First playoff action for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's fully healthy and ready to go. Obviously, the run game with Kareem Hunt, Bob mentioned, he thinks he's going to have a big game, and Pacheco being able to actually get healthy, rest the legs a little bit more before having this full-on push to get to the Super Bowl again. Is Chris Jones it's an opportunity that's interesting, not just for Chris Jones, but also Charles Omenihu. Not a revenge game necessarily, but he played on the Houston Texans.
He did. I mean,
and was a part of that loss that they had. Justin Reed also was there as well, but George Karlaftis to for the front in the trenches for the defense has a big opportunity.
They do
in front of them. Where yes, they're facing Laramie Tunsil, but you look at the line and how they've struggled overall. It's a good opportunity where we could see Chris Jones maybe single-handedly wreck the game if he's able to get through and get to C.J. Stroud a couple of times, get him behind the sticks early on. Especially if you think, I guess perfect start would be go up 7-0 or get a stop, go up 7-0, and then you get him behind the sticks again, and then you have a chance to go up 2 scores right away. I feel like that would be the perfect ideal start where the crowd's alive. It is going crazy at Arrowhead, and everything seems to be going the right way. That, I think, is what Chiefs fans would love to see the most, just because of how things have kind of gone throughout the season where the game feels like we're in control, but the game's so close. I feel like Chiefs fans are tired of seeing those sort of games where let's just get out to a good start. Chris Jones can maybe wreck this thing. We get a couple sacks. George Karlaftis, Charles Omenihu maybe. Everybody gets in on the action.
I mean, this is an O-line that can be had. C.J. Stroud has been running for his life all season. It's not just the left tackle like it's been in Kansas City and occasionally the right side.
It's been everybody.
It's everybody. So they'll be able to get some penetration on any sort of gaps there on the D-line, and that's going to be kind of the goal, right? To get to C.J. Stroud and force him to throw quickly. He's only got his one stud wide receiver there, Nico Collins. Unfortunately, they lost Tank Dell in the week 16 game against Kansas City and Stephon Diggs earlier on.
Was that the McDuffie pick game? Was that his first pick, or was it the Browns that he got his first interception? I can't remember.
I think Houston.
I think he got a pick in the game. I just don't remember if that was the.
Well, he got back-to-back picks. So actually, no, his first pick was Cleveland, then it was Houston.
Okay, I knew he got one against Houston. I just didn't remember if that was number 1 or if that was number 2.
That was number 2, and then Pittsburgh was the forced fumble because the last 3 weeks that McDuffie played, he forced at least 1 turnover in every game.
Well, and we know how good C.J. Stroud is, and we're going to get the Stroud.
Yes.
In a little bit, in more particular. But if you look at the offense, the way that they do things, Joe Mixon's been very good. He's questionable today. He's going to play. He's going to at least try to give it a go with the ankle stuff. But the Chiefs do run defense extremely well. You get them in that situation where they have to pass, and not that C.J. Stroud is not capable, but you can maybe unleash a Spags blitz every now and then. Hey, let's make C.J. feel uncomfortable where he has some running ability, showed it in the game against the Chargers, but let's make him feel uncomfortable, and we have the guys that can get home, and he's not going to be able to run for a first down. We have to make him make a really elite throw or force him into a mistake, which we saw a couple times in that game against the Chiefs earlier where Houston had 2 turnovers. The Chiefs didn't have any, and the Chiefs took advantage of both of those turnovers, too. They turned them into points. They turned them into 10 points in that game, which they won by 8. So
massive.
Big difference in that one.
Now I'm just daydreaming about the Chiefs starting off 14-0, 2 scores with Arrowhead.
I put that into your head.
Yeah, now I just can't get that out of my head. I want to be at Arrowhead partying in the fourth quarter, just absolutely going berserk, knowing that they're getting ready to welcome
a little bit nervous
either.
on the text line. Not nervous, but they say that from the 816, still feel like everyone is overly confident that the Chiefs are automatically winning. I think that's fair. Like, to me, on Cody and Gold, we talked about it. Alex and Cody.
You're not going to read the last question mark?
No, I'm not going to read that. Sorry. I would not be willing to bet my... Yes,
Your lower region. There was someone who did that.
Certain things I would not bet. That person is an idiot. No offense to them. But Alex and Cody seemed very, very confident going in, and they said it would be one of the biggest upsets in the last decade in the playoffs.
It would be.
I still don't know if it would be that big of an upset from the standpoint of the way that the Chiefs have played this year. Maybe just on paper, both teams are very talented. Obviously, the Chiefs have more talent and they're a better team. But I don't know how big of an upset it would be compared to
15-2.
I understand. But
point differential.
I understand. Like, for instance, this is the same team. If they lose 2 of those games and they're 13-4 instead, it's still the same team in my mind. I don't see it as that big of an upset. It's possible, but the confidence goes into the fact that I think every game that they've played that's been close, they've won, and maybe that obviously could change. But it should give you more confidence that, hey, they've been tested multiple times. Good opponent, bad opponent, decent opponent. They've looked better than they had all season over the last couple of weeks. I think that's why people are feeling a little bit more confident going into this one. Just that it feels like they're hitting their stride at the right time.
Yeah, they're getting hot and they're healthier than ever, and that is the dream scenario for the playoffs. I kind of want to ask Dusty Likens what he thinks about the playoff upset question and how big this necessarily would be if the Texans were be able to pull it off. Hint, hint, they won't. 816. I'm pretty confident in that. We'll talk more about it as this day goes on. Dusty Likens coming up next. You just heard from C-Dot and Bob Fesco. And we'll talk to everyone here on 96.5 The Fan coming up until noon on the extended pregame. Mac Morey, Drew Nixon with you on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Brakes, tires, batteries, and fluids need attention now. Don't wait for trouble. Trust the pros with Midwest Auto Services. They will get you going fast at a fair price. Midwest Auto Services. Call 816-224-4247 or MidwestAutoservices.com.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Get a free any-size coffee with Casey's Rewards. See Casey's Rewards for details.
Men, the new year is here. And if you're like many of us, you're going to make a resolution to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish and low energy, if your sleep patterns are off, if you've been working out and aren't seeing the gains you used to see, making that resolution may not be so easy. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you're feeling the way I just described, we can likely help you with that resolution, because those symptoms probably mean you're suffering with low testosterone. And at Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating this condition. With our low T protocols, if you're like most men, the change will astound you. You'll feel more energy and better mental clarity, your sleep will improve, your workouts will be better, and you'll likely find your sex drive goes up as well. So call us today and get treated for your low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins? With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Let's do this thing. Chiefs extended pregame show, 96.5 The Fan. Here we go.
The opportunity to play some Springsteen. Jeez, I really feel bad now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dusty.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
There it is. Dusty Likens joined the show of Fesco and Dusty, our boy. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Just, ready to get zooted and booted, or tooted and booted.
Yeah, well, that was my first question. So when does that process begin for you? Because I'm going to go to the game, so I'm starting a little later because I got the Chiefs extended pregame. I got an Uber scheduled, and then I'll get going, bringing that bucket of Fireball that we discussed. But when does it start for you? When do you get lathered up? When did the Miller High Life start rolling?
About 1:30.
Okay, great. Nice. You got to pace yourself.
Yeah, little appetite. The hell with that. I'll do a little appetizer of Miller High Life, little taco bar.
I was going to say, what's the food choice today?
More.
Nice.
Miller High Lives, and then just fade out. And if it's not a good ending, then it's not going to be good for me.
It's not. It's definitely not going to be good for me. It seems like we had a text from the 417 that said, even with all the fan confidence, or no, I can't remember where it is, but basically just saying that basically everyone's overtly confident in the Chiefs. Is there any chance that this isn't a win sort of thing? Where are you on this game? Are you kind of with us just saying, no, this is happening?
No, I don't think I really worry. I think because I can feel True's eyes roll. But one day you'll get to this point, you think.
Yeah,
but
probably not.
The divisional round is kind of I don't know. It's kind of like the pregame to the big game, right? Like the big game is tomorrow between the two MVP candidates, and then this game is kind of like, okay, let's get back to our ways. Let's get ready to go. Let's move through this. Like we can all agree that the Texans are out of the four teams, which this is kind of a weird statement to say. They're the least worrisome team to play against in this. That's why you get the number one seed. That's why you get the bye. Plus, you look at Patrick Mahomes in the divisional round. You see Patrick Mahomes coming off of a bye. And when you think about all those things factored in, it's heavily favored Chiefs. The 8.5 is strong. I will say that. But again, I could see this game being, heavily favored towards the Chiefs side. Look, they're ready to play football. Andy Reid's 21-4 coming off of a bye. I don't know what he is coming off of 3 byes, about to be 1-0 or maybe 3-0. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter. But I don't have a lot of disbelief. Now, again, Mac, Drew, I could change all of that after the first series and be like, okay, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the last, the 3 games in the 11 days is what I look at with this team. They played 3 games in 11 days. They completely revamped their offensive line. They got offensive weapons back. And now it's that with some time to prep and to go into it. I don't really have a whole lot of concern. I'm just worried that if C.J. Stroud wants to be him, if this is his moment where it's like, okay, here I am. I want to be the 5th best quarterback in football. So
you brought up C.J. Stroud and you referenced some stats. C-Dot had a crazy stat about Mahomes. Give me one reason the Chiefs win this game, and then if the Chiefs don't win, if Houston is going to win, what has to happen for that to actually occur?
For Houston to win?
Yeah.
a catastrophic failure on Andy Reid calling plays. Mahomes would have to turn the ball over 3 times. Drew, to be perfectly honest with you, if Houston wins, this game has to look like when the Chiefs played the Raiders on Christmas Day 2 years ago. Like back-to-back turnovers, losing time of possession, turnovers that didn't normally happen, like Pacheco fumbles and Houston scores off of it. Houston has to be, making turnovers. Their D-line, basically what they have to do to win, they have to play the exact same game they played against the Chargers and do what they did to Herbert, which they did to Mahomes, which when you do the say-it-out-loud test, that's probably not going to happen because when the playoffs come and Patrick Mahomes had a time to kind of get back to his ways and get his sort of mind right for the playoffs, it's a different animal. It's like a lot of people say he goes into this God mode type of player. And if that happens, Houston's screwed. But if they can do what they did to Herbert, that's the only way I see this game winning.
Yeah, it'd have to be nightmare sequence after nightmare sequence for that to happen. So would you say, Drew was talking about how Cody and Gold were kind of saying if the Texans did win, this may be one of the biggest upsets in the playoffs in the last 10 years. I completely agree. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, this is up there with there was one last year where Green Bay went into Dallas with Jordan Love, right? That kind of gives me the same vibe that this game would be. Like, I don't think a lot of people had Jordan Love going into Dallas, who went undefeated at home, right? If my memory sets me right, which is foggy. The Chiefs went undefeated at home this year. Dallas had a bye. They won the East. They brought in Green Bay, the less superior team with the unproven quarterback in the playoffs. I know C.J. Stroud's 2-1, but look at who he's beat. And then you bring him into Arrowhead, and that would be that same kind of upset. I think there was a lot of people in Dallas last year that probably had the same sort of vibes we had. Like, Green Bay's respectful. Yeah, Jordan Love should be a guy of the future for this NFL league that we watch every Sunday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day they play on. And I think that if that would be in that same sort of vibe where, like, home team, undefeated at home, clearly the better team, the better seed, and then here comes this team to come in. And again, I think the only way that Houston could really kind of win this game or make an upset of this game is if they do exactly what they did to Herbert. But we all know that Mahomes is in a class of his own, and Herbert slid way down when it comes to the playoffs because of the pressure. The thing is, Mahomes has so much reps in the playoffs. Like, it's insane when he turns it on in the playoffs. It's like a different quarterback, which when you say that out loud, it's almost insane because Mahomes went 15-2 or 15-1 as a quarterback in the league. And when the playoffs come in, it's this guy that just everything slows down. Like I told you the other day on the air, Mac, it's like the scene from Over the Hedge when the squirrel drinks the Red Bull. Everything stops, and he's able to just kind of manipulate and do whatever he wants without anybody knowing. And before it happens, they're like, oh, my God, it's 14-0, and we've only had the ball 2 times. So, again, yes, I think if the Houston Texans come into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs, not only is it a huge upset because of the time that we're in, but it's also a huge upset because what's on the line for the Kansas City Chiefs in this dynasty that they built.
So Mahomes is going to go full-on hammy. I like it. Dusty, what's your score prediction for this one?
31-17 Chiefs.
Wow, okay. So Rob as well, me as well. 31-17, a common theme. Every day but Tuesday, which works out.
I put it on the Instagram. I put it in the script, so I've been on this since Thursday.
Okay, there you go. I guess
you guys are copying off of Dusty.
Yeah, we're copying Dusty, of course, as usual. 31-17. Love it, bro. Have a good one every day but Tuesday. That works out perfectly for Bob Fesco and his schedule, and just so happens to work out for ours too. Have a good one, bro.
Later.
You too, guys. Take care.
31-17. Dang. Okay,
three of them. Wow,
three of them. That's the theme today.
Of all the scores.
I know, what an interesting score. Well, that's it there from Dusty. On Fesco and Dusty Monday through Friday from 6 to 10. Coming up, we got Jay Binkley on the show. We're going to have him for a full half hour.
This man's got some takes to get off his chest.
He's got takes. The Binkster's ready to go. You heard Dusty talk about CJ Stroud and the Texans. I want to ask Binkley about the Texans angles a little bit. We had Ron Hughley on Fesco and Dusty earlier this week on Sports Radio 610 over there in Houston, a familiar voice over here on this station, talking about the angles for the Texans and how they could actually get this done. I want to hear Binkley's thoughts. We'll have it all right here. 913-586-7965 is the text line number to be a part of the conversation here for the next 2 hours on the Chiefs Extended Pregame. Mac Morey, Drew Nixon with you here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Get ready to elevate your game this NFL playoff season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Because right now, all customers can get a no-sweat NFL same-game parlay for any game,
All you need to do is place a 3-leg NFL same-game parlay, and you'll get bonus bets back if your bet doesn't win. Same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at an even bigger payout. So you can build your own or choose from one of the popular same-game pre-built models right there on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Get your no-sweat same-game parlay today on America's #1 sportsbook app. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after retreat. Max wagers $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help us your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-647-8866. That's 800-647-8866. Once again, that's 800-647-8866.
You okay?
I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
The pro football playoff season is here, and there's one place to be. The BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Your home for wagertainment, giving you the sharpest insights and bringing an expert guest analysis.
From point spreads to props, live betting to futures, BetQL has you covered every step of the way with wall-to-wall coverage on the road to the championship in New Orleans.
Listen live on the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM, on the free Odyssey app and twitch.tv/BetQL or YouTube at Odyssey Sports.
Head home with The Drive. Weekdays starting at 2 on 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
.96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs extended pregame with Drew Nixon and myself, Mac Morey. Got another 2 hours with you. Make sure to tap in. 913-586-7965 is the J Southland Tow Service text line. Phone number 586-7965. We've talked to Rob Britton. We talked to Dusty Likens just now. Bob Fesco, C-Dot. We're going to have the rest of the gang of 96.5 on. But for right now, it's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jay Binkley, joining us for the next 30 minutes. What's up, Binkster?
What's going on, my friends? What's going on? Happy divisional Saturday, Saturday and Sunday, the best weekend of football, bar none. And we've had a lot of good weekends of football.
I completely agree. Divisional round coverage is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. I do think the divisional round is the way to go. I thought the wild card back when they had 6 teams and not 7 was the best, but we don't need to get into that necessarily right now. We can start off with the Chiefs with the lead here today, 3:30 pregame after this, starting with Dan, Danon, and Josh over there at noon. Jay, what's your thoughts on the game today? Give me just your overarching, here's what's happening.
You know what? I'm excited about it because, this is what they do. This is what Patrick Mahomes did. James Palmer just put out a tweet a little bit ago, and it was great. Patrick Mahomes has a chance to get his 4th Super Bowl ring before age 30. Tom Brady did not get his 4th Super Bowl until 37.
Wow.
He was 37 when we got it because people said, hey, could he catch him or not?
Mm-hmm.
And, I've laid out, in the past that, a few things went here or there. It came down to just a few games. They'd be a lot closer in Super Bowls than they are. But it's just the experience. This is what they play for. This is what they wanted. And I know a lot of people have been talking nationally about the rust and the fact they've had so much time off. And, this is a team that went through 3 games in 11 days, and they won all of them. This is a team that's 7-1 against playoff teams. That's the best record. The Buffalo Bills are like 2-4 against playoff teams. The Chiefs are 7-1 against those playoff teams. They needed the rest. They played an extra year of football compared to everybody else. When you've gone to 6 straight AFC title games and you've gone to 4 last 5 Super Bowls, you've played a full other season. So if any team needs rest, it's this team in Kansas City. So I'm not expecting a lot of rust. I think a lot of people are mistaken. These teams actually played a couple weeks ago, and the Chiefs actually did a very good job with that pass rush. But I don't know why, but it seems like nationally that people forget these teams played a couple weeks ago.
Bink, I think that there's a lot of storylines going into this one. One of the things that you mentioned, obviously, looking to get Mahomes that 4th ring and the three-peat, and there's some adjusting you have to do. As fans, we can just think about the three-peat all the time. As football players, you're focused on the game at hand. Obviously, the end goal, the three-peat is what you want to get to. But one of the storylines coming in is just, C.J. Stroud has that opportunity to knock off the big dog. Mahomes has a chance to continue this thing going. Obviously, Azeez Al-Shaair is back for this game. He missed that matchup earlier on. Hollywood Brown's in the playoffs for the first time as a Kansas City Chief and is rolling now. Is there any storyline going into this game in particular that stands out to you the most, whether it's the left tackle, whether it's Azeez Al-Shaair being in, or Hollywood Brown? Is there anything that stands out to you the most or that you're tuned into more than anything else?
I think most of it is the fact with this offense. Are they going to – this team has actually looked a lot better, except for the Broncos game. You can throw that one out because the starters aren't playing. But things are starting to come together offensively with this team. Mahomes had was sacked 35 times, weeks 1 through 14, and he's only been sacked once since then. So the sacks have come way down for the Kansas City Chiefs. He has more time. He can facilitate more of what this offense does. So I'm expecting that, and I'm expecting similar results with the way the Chiefs' offensive line handled the Texans the first time that they played them. I expect a lot of quicker passes from Patrick Mahomes and alleviating that. I'm expecting, probably a little bit extra tight end help if they need it, or, chipping on the outside, things that they can do. I mean, don't forget, they can even bring another tackle eligible into the game. They can put a tight end in the backfield. There's a lot of different ways they can do to alleviate some of the pass rush. And I feel that they'll do it because I think the Chiefs have 2 seasons, the regular season and then the postseason. And I think all the cards are on the table when you get to this point in the season. But yeah, I just expect things maybe to be a little bit different offensively. I think they take a few more chances down the field, kind of utilize, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, pick your poison on the outside, which guy with that blazing speed are you going to try to cover down the field. And I think it should be a lot of fun opening up this offense.
Well, Drew brought up storylines. One of the bigger ones today, for me at least, I don't know about what you think, Bink. DeAndre Hopkins, man, revenge game. He's already a French Hall of Famer. He could really cement that with a huge playoff run that leads to a three-peat, and he's a catalyst in that run. What do you think we're getting out of him today?
Yeah, I expect a lot from him because he knows he's done a lot in his career except for win that ring. And he knows this is the opportunity, this is the chance, this is the team to do it. And I expect great things out of DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, they rested him clearly. It was a smooth move by the Chiefs to keep him under the snap count so they can get they get a fourth rounder instead of a fifth. But the way the Chiefs kind of manufactured that, and the storyline, I think, is the Chiefs and their momentum. You know, how good will they look today? Will they look good enough to where you say, well, it doesn't matter if they're playing Baltimore or Buffalo next week. Can they look good today and look like the team that they are, a team that is accustomed to playing in the cold? They do well. Let's not forget that was one of the best playoff runs we've ever seen in the history of football.
Yeah.
Last year from the Chiefs when they go on the road and beat Buffalo, Baltimore, play San Francisco at a neutral place and beat them all. They beat the top six. Every team they played was top six in offense and top six in scoring defense last year in the postseason. Honestly, probably one of the best runs we've ever seen. And will they be able to get on that leg today and going out and having a good effort today where they can kind of get that confidence, momentum building for this team?
Travis Kelce, we know that, I think we all recognize that this could potentially be the last we see him in a Chiefs uniform over the course of this playoff run. Do you think I think he always does, Bink, but do you think this is one of those performances where, whether it's this game, whether it's the AFC title or the Super Bowl, if they make it there, we're going to see Travis just lay it literally all on the line, or he's only going to come, he's going to be begging Andy to be out there as much as he can because he wants to be able to help the team out, whether it's blocking, whether it's popping in the middle of a zone and getting some catches. Are we going to see that playoff mode, Travis, where he can go off, but also the relentlessness that we see from him wanting to be out there every single play?
I think we will. I think we'll see playoff Kelce. You know, he knows that his time in the league probably not going to be long, and he'll go out here in the postseason. You don't get these opportunities, especially at home, and have a home field advantage very often, and to get that three-peat. And I think it's driving him to do it. And this guy has stepped up in the postseason. He was outstanding last year in the postseason. Had a better postseason than he did the regular season. And you got to think of this. He passed Jerry Rice in playoff catches last year. He's got a good chance to pass him in playoff yards and an outside chance to catch him in postseason touchdowns. So he could literally have the trifecta, yards, catches, and touchdowns of anybody in the history of football in the postseason. So he shines when it happens, and I think it opens things up for him. When you have Worthy and Hollywood Brown in that game and DeAndre Hopkins, I think, you know, having that quality group of wide receivers, and especially the way that Worthy's come on, it opens things up for Travis Kelce. And I think that's the better. And if teams go by the mindset that, you know, how much can he hurt you? He's older, he's washed, he can't do it. Well, he will do it. And so it'll be interesting if they put a lot of attention on Travis Kelce, because that means somebody else is not garnering that attention on the outside and could lead to big plays for the Chiefs.
Talking with Jay Binkley here on 96.5 The Fan. Chiefs extended pregame. Mac Morey, Drew Nixon, and, of course, our guy, the Binkster right now. Yeah, they have all the offensive pieces now. And DeAndre Hopkins, we're talking about him having a big day. You're talking about his legacy on the line sort of deal, his revenge game. You know, he's been playing under 50% of the snaps in a lot of these games. They can unleash him. Hollywood Brown, you mentioned, of course, Travis Kelce, already the GOAT tight end, can cement that legacy in what could be his final run. We've seen this offense start to look better in large part because of that play at left tackle, which happened to be a big talking point this week, Binkley. I was a little bit shocked by it. They did report yesterday. It seems like it's going to be Joe Thuney. Are you happy with that decision?
Yeah, I am. I am. And earlier this week when you guys asked me, I think it's the right decision. And, you know, going into it, it's contrary to what I've said in the past. And, you know, in the past, they were hesitant to put him at left tackle. Andy Reid likes his tackles to have a certain arm length. And I know it's ridiculous, and we're getting down into the weeds of, you know, the players they draft, but not having the 34-inch arms. That's big to Andy Reid. And, you know, having the tackle reach arms is a big deal. But I think you have to put that to the side just the way that he's played. He's played much better than that. There's just some guys that transcend typical, you know, body types and sizes of what you typically want at tackles or guards. And Ryan Lilja was the perfect example for the Chiefs. You know, it was thought that he had too short of arms or alligator arms. And then the Colts, you know, snag him off the Chiefs practice squad, throw him right into a starting lineup that ended up winning the Super Bowl for the Colts and comes back. But he kind of defied, you know, that trend of what tackles or guards their size should be. But, yeah, Tooney's been the hot hand. It's been working. It's been working. Yeah, there's been times that Caliendo, has missed a block with somebody, rushing from the inside. But as long as it's working, I wouldn't change it. Donald Humphreys gives you a nice change of pace, but I certainly trust Tooney in there more than Donald Humphrey. Not saying Humphrey's not a great player, but he has experience this year. I mean, the guy, is out for an ACL all year, has a little bit of experience with the Chiefs, and that really a guy you're going to trust going forward, or are you going to trust the guy that went to 3 straight Super Bowls when he was with the Patriots when he was drafted and won the last couple with the Kansas City Chiefs? I think I trust that guy.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they have finally found something that is relatively not broken with Joe Tooney at left tackle. Of course, you mentioned Caliendo. Big test for him against Danico Autry. We can talk more about that. Of course, we've talked Chiefs with Binkley for 10 minutes. I haven't even brought up Patrick Mahomes. It's a big legacy run for him on this three-peat, and I want to hear what Jay Binkley has to say about it. We got Binkley for another 10 or 15 minutes. And, of course, Chiefs insider with The Athletic, Nate Taylor, joined the show on Fesco and Dusty. He talked about Patrick Mahomes. We can hear some sound from him, what he thinks Mahomes has on the line, the progression that he has shown over the years, and he's on a quest to maybe hold another Lombardi trophy. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey with you for another around 2 hours on Chiefs Extended Pregame, bringing it right up to noon with Dan, Danon, and Josh Klingler right here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, it's Derek Johnson, and I know there's nothing better than being part of a team. A group of great people you can count on and learn from. The Sheet Metalworkers, local number 2, are growing their team and looking for quality men and women who want to build Kansas City's future. While you're making KC a better place, you'll also get great pay and benefits while gaining lifelong skills. Explore the possibilities at sheetmetal2.org. That's sheetmetal2.org. And take a step towards a fulfilling and rewarding way of life.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. That's code 965 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then. 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree man-sized drafts. Our happy hour will have you coming back for more. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator, roll with the sausage breakfast burrito, buddy it up with a Honey Buddy, or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes, and then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Dusty Likens, and in case you didn't already know, I'm here to tell you that you can watch all the shows here on 96.5 The Fan across all our social media channels. That's right. If you want to see our smiling faces as we talk about the best sports fans and teams in the country, subscribe to our YouTube channel or watch on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Wake up with us, eat lunch with us, and go home with us. Your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
It's definitely all right. It's going to be even better than all right after the game today. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Chiefs game, Chiefs playoff football taking on the Houston Texans today. Official pregame with Dan, Danon, and Kling starting at noon. Kickoff 3:30 with Mitch Holtis and Danon Hughes. It is going to be a good one. We've talked to a lot of the guys here at 96.5 The Fan. Rob Britton, Bob Fesco, C. Dusty Likens. Right now, joined by Jay Binkley for another 10 or 15 minutes. Bink, this is a big opportunity for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you brought this up, dude. 37 was the age of Tom Brady before he got his fourth ring. Right now, Patrick Mahomes, not even 30 years old, has the chance to claim that fourth Lombardi trophy. Nate Taylor came on Fesco and Dusty. I'm going to play you just a little bit of this clip that he talked about Mahomes' progression through the years, and I'm going to get your thoughts on it, all right? Here we go.
Right on. He is yet reminding you again, I don't care about stats. I really don't. And the play reflects that. Like, I will just do whatever is necessary on that particular day to help my team win, and that's what matters. He's been frustrated plenty of times this season. He's still a human being, but he's not looking for what he did in 2018, what he did in 2019, obviously leading the Chiefs to their first Super Bowl victory in 50 years. But he's also not even trying to look at what he was trying to do in 2022. He continues to advance and not being afraid to say, like, I don't have to be that guy I was, X amount of years, whatever later. I'm going to get these guys right. I'm going to make sure that, like, when DeAndre Hopkins arrives, he understands that, like, I will morph my game towards his game more so than he even has to morph his game toward mine. And I just think that is something that we might appreciate more, when we look back at Patrick's career. But I'm just saying right now, it's hard to equate what other quarterback could do this year after year where you're still the same talent level. He's still the most talented quarterback in the league, but he's beating you and he's getting wins in I won't say unorthodox manner, but in a manner that, like, is not year over year. Like, he just continued to kind of, like, do the same things. No, he's doing things differently, and the results are actually getting better. That's what's terrifying. It's like, well, they won 15 games, and they could still play better if he gets the suitable, competent protection starting Saturday against the Houston Texans.
The constant maturation and refinement of Mahomes' game. Yes, there's the stats, but now there's just the efficient, I'm going to kill you slowly as you die a slow death.
Yeah, no question about it. And we saw what this team looked like without Mahomes when they played the Denver Broncos. You're going to see his true value to what he is. I make no mistake about it. Had he played that game, I think that score, they may not have won that game, but it would have looked much different than that. But this is time. There's some guys that just rise this time, and he does. 6-0 in divisional games, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions. He just plays well when it gets to this point. He's had plenty of opportunity. Andy Reid's had plenty of opportunity to to study this team. He's so good coming off of a bye week, and we all know that in his history doing that. But it's what Mahomes lives for. He understands his legacy. He understands his chance to do something that no one else has, and that's three-peat. But he just rises to the occasion. He's seen it all. So many defenses have switched around. A couple years ago, people thought they'd figured the Chiefs out and they'd slowed them down. But yet by the end of the year, they were still number one in points per drive at the end of the year. Last year, people thought they had them figured out when they had 6 losses on Christmas Day. They still don't have them figured out. They have that winning mentality, and this is when they shine. And this is what they do. Some teams are good in the postseason, and some teams aren't. We've clearly seen those teams throughout the playoffs that aren't good in the postseason. The toughest thing to do in sports is to consistently repeat and always be there at the end. And we see so many teams get good, they hit that crescendo, then they fall. They fall straight off, and they just can't keep that momentum going. Who knows what happens to the Lions? Yeah, the Lions had a great year, but if Ben Johnson and Glenn leave this year to other coaching jobs, where's that team going to go? But the Chiefs just always have this consistency. So I'm looking forward to what they do. I mean, I love the postseason. This is what this team's built for. This is what the team wants. As fans, we sit here, you want the postseason. For years, I remember a 21-year drought where the Chiefs did not win a postseason game, but this is what you live for.
Well, and big, and to your point, that's credit to Andy Reid. That's credit to Brett Veach. That's credit to, obviously, the players as well. Spags, the greatest DC ever. All of the little bits and pieces and parts to this team that make up what they've been able to do over the last few seasons. What do you think happens today? Are you taking the Chiefs like everybody else? What do you think the score is?
No, I am. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs today. I think that when you think of Houston, they did get to play them a couple of weeks ago. I know people are real, hot on Houston's defense and how good this defense. Well, remind people the Chiefs are 5th in the NFL in points against, and the Houston Texans, by the way, are 14th in scoring defense. The Chiefs are 5th. So yes, the Chiefs have a better defense. But keep in mind that is skewed because they were number 1 in scoring defense a few weeks ago. But obviously, when you had that performance against the Broncos, when none of the starters played, that skewed down. The Houston total defense is real close to where the Chiefs are within 2 or 3 teams or where the Houston Texans are. But the Chiefs are better than the Houston Texans, I think, on offense, and they're better than them on defense, even though their defense and their pass rush has been playing incredible. I'd still go with the Kansas City Chiefs in the experience.
What score are you taking?
Oh, man. Do I think they're going to cover? No, because they never do. I'll take 24-17.
Okay, 24-17.
I like it.
But do you think this is a 24-17 where maybe it's 24-14 and it's a 2 minutes left, Texans are driving down really quickly, they kick the field goal and try an onside kick sort of deal?
To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a lot like the last time. Even though the score was what it was, but the Chiefs dominated that game. And you got to think, guys, Mahomes has only lost, I think 5 times in his career. He always keeps things close. And when the game's close, we know the Chiefs typically win those. It was the Titans a few years ago, the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, the Bills twice, and then the Broncos, not this year, but the year before, when Mahomes has played where they haven't been within at least one score of winning the game. That just shows you how close that they keep games, especially Patrick Mahomes. But when the game does get close, we know what ends up happening. But yeah, look at that last game against the Texans. Even though, there for a while, the Texans had the early lead in the game, but the Chiefs were able to overcome with that game 27-19.
That was
so
it, yeah.
Touchdown, a 2-point conversion for the game there. But that game wasn't as close as what the score is. But I'm expecting kind of a similar game to that.
There you go. There you hear it from Jay Binkley. Thanks for coming on, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Bink.
Hey, you guys take care, man. Enjoy the day. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Go Chiefs. I'm excited. I'm getting ready. Getting lubed up. Almost 10:30 now. Got an hour. got an hour and a half left. I am pumped. I will
the
be
phrase
at the
is just crazy. Like if it's taken out of context, man. I know what you're. I know it's a common phrase.
Yes.
But every single time, so they play it in the college. So Jesse Palmer in the college football video game, says getting lathered up all the time. And it's like, dude, and the way the
does.
video games work, they repeat all the time. It's like, dude, I understand. You said I've gotten lathered up like 10 times already.
Getting lathered up, and it's the second quarter. It's like 7-3. It's like, really, Jesse? You're getting lathered up over this? Yeah, well, no, this is different for me. I'm already lathered up, 10:30. I'm excited. I will be at the game today, tailgating. If you see me, say hi. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to root on the Chiefs. Want to hear from you too. 913-586-7965 is the number to text in. Be a part of the show for the next 90 minutes or so. May even find a gap here to let you guys call in and tell us what you're most excited for. Coming up, you've heard from a lot of people at the station. Cody and Gold. It's Cody Tapp coming up next to hear from you guys right here on 96.5 The Fan. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey with you for another 90 minutes right here on your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
At Shane Company, we'll help you create a ring as unique as your love story. We have the biggest selection of diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and center stones in an array of colors, including sapphires in blue, pink, green, lavender, and more. Just the other day, a couple picked out a blue sapphire that perfectly matched her eyes, and they left knowing her ring was truly one of a kind. That's what happens at Shane Company. Come check us out. You might just fall in love with something unexpected. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This weekend only at Old Navy, score $15 jeans for adults and $10 jeans for kids. That's denim for the entire fam. $15 jeans for adults, $10 jeans for kids this Saturday and Sunday only at Old Navy. Valid 1/18 and 19, select styles only.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bag all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Midwest Auto Services in Blue Springs. Quality repairs, fair prices, professional service. You get it all at Midwest Auto Services. Their full-service shop works on all makes and models of vehicles. Find out more and schedule an appointment at MidwestAutoservices.com.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
When a KU versus K-State rivalry game begins, emotions run high, legends are created, school pride hangs in the balance, memories that last a lifetime will be made, because each game is the most important game in history. At least, until the next one. Get in the game with your chance to win up to $50,000. The Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery. See kslottery.com for details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Welcome to your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
You ready? You ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Welcome to the
Welcome back to Chiefs Extended Pregame. 96.5 The Fan. Mac and I are with you all the way up until noon. Then we hand it off to Dan Israel, Danon Hughes, and Josh Klingler for Chiefs Radio Network Pregame. We've talked to a number of different people. Just got done talking to Bink, the first person from Cody and Gold that we're going to have on the show, outside of myself, I guess, is Cody Tapp. Welcoming Cody into the show. Cody, what's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Doing well. Happy to have you on. Thank you for joining. One of the things that we've talked about, what we've broken down some of the storylines of the game so far. What does Patrick Mahomes do? This is a legacy sort of run for Mahomes. Can they get the three-peat done? All the different things going into this game in particular, too, against the Houston Texans. What does a Chiefs win look like? Is it a dominant fashion win? Is it Mahomes is able to spread the ball around to Hollywood, Xavier Worthy, and Travis Kelce? What does it look like from your perspective?
I think it's really hard because the Texans are essentially Chiefs light. I don't think that they are doing a bad job of team building. They've got a good quarterback, a really good corner, a good defensive line. Those are typically the things you got to have in order to be a competitive team. It's why they won their division and made the playoffs. But I can't think of a single place on the football field where I definitively think the Texans are the better team. Even for all the talk of Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, Chris Jones is the most dominant interior defensive lineman. So if I take the entire depth into play, I still think it's Kansas City. That's probably the closest race. They're definitely better at quarterback, way deeper at wide receiver. Sure, they got Derek Stingley Jr., but Trent McDuffie is an elite-level corner. So, I'm having a hard way picturing a way in which this is anything other than maybe Chiefs close, but probably more like Chiefs 7 to 10 points.
So one of the big storylines, Cody, was left tackle. We were all a little surprised and baffled by the fact that that was a big conversation, but nevertheless, it was. And yesterday, the decision did come through while you guys were live on the air during Cody and Gold from 10 to 2 every day, Monday through Friday. There you go. You're welcome for the plug. Joe Thuney was decided to be the left tackle. Where are you at on that decision? You agree?
So I wouldn't have lost my mind. I think some people, if it were Humphreys, would have been like, I can't believe this. This is an atrocity. And I'm like, come on, relax. He was, at some point in his career, a qualified starting left tackle. And I think our only hesitation on it is because we haven't seen him play, and Joe Thuney didn't get his ass kicked. And so because he held up, especially against the Texans, the team he's getting ready to face, I wanted Thuney instead. I didn't see – I'm a big believer typically in the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it didn't seem to be any reason to risk Humphreys. And for as much as the people who are defenders of Humphreys said, hey, you could start with Humphreys, and if it goes bad, you can go to Thuney. Everyone knows that the same rule applies the other way, right? If Thuney can't play left tackle, they could always just put Humphreys in the game. He's healthy. He'll be on the roster. So I'm good with Thuney. It gave me some sense of relief that there is a floor-raising part of the play where it can only be so bad at left tackle now, which makes me feel good. Although I'll warn people, Caliendo did not play awesome in his time replacing Thuney. So they're putting more on Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. Those two guys can just handle it, that's all.
Is that one of those things, Cody, where you just monitor how things go? Let's say Caliendo actually really is struggling and there's some pressure up the middle and it gets to Mahomes a couple of times and it might kill a drive or it kills another drive or an opportunity to score a touchdown and said you have to settle for a field goal or you're in range for a field goal but you have to punt instead. Is that something where, you know what, you just decide to make that move where we're going to go to DJ at left tackle and then we're going to go to Thuney at left guard, or is that like a last case scenario sort of thing?
I think it's going to take epic meltdown of Thuney, which seems almost impossible, an epic meltdown of Caliendo to decide to shift the entire offensive line around. And that's why I'm talking about the floor thing, is that it can only be so low. It can only go so low. And so because of that, I just don't foresee it really going down like that. I think for the Chiefs' sake, they've been playing all season with some drives end in field goals or some drives get stalled because of a penalty or because the offensive line didn't hold up, and they still won 15 of the 16 games they tried to win. And the only games in which it was more of a challenge is when the offensive line was a complete disaster. And so I think, for as much as people think they're just going to go out and score 40 in a game now because the whole offense is back and Joe Thuney's at left tackle. I don't see that. I still think they're we'll take 10 plays going 70 yards, and sometimes we take a field goal from the 12 kind of offense, but they've won most of their games playing that way. So I'm not bothered by that style, and I think they're better in the receiving game in the ability to just get rid of it quick, throw it quick, move the ball down that way than they've been at any point this year because of the talent.
You've mentioned the Texans Chiefs light, which I like. So are we getting a C.J. Stroud mini Mahomes performance? I mean, this is not necessarily a huge legacy game for him, but, I mean, young in his career, kind of a big moment.
It's crazy. It is a legacy game if he beats him. Because,
absolutely.
They won't care. Like, he could miss the playoffs the next 2 years, or he could be one and done in the playoffs the next 2 years. People will always forgive him if he's the guy who stopped the streak of AFC title game appearances by Mahomes. But no, I mean, it's been a weird year for him, and I could attribute most of it to just poor offensive line play. Similar number of passing yards, similar number of passing touchdowns. He just threw a lot more picks, and he took a lot more sacks. Well, that doesn't sound like something that is necessarily in his control as much as it is they failed him as an offensive line. So he can still make some plays. I mean, everybody saw that play, right? When the ball gets kicked around, fumbled around, he scoops it up and throws the ball on 3rd and 15 or whatever for a first. He's capable of those, but he didn't do anything this year that makes you think he deserves to be on the level of Lamar, Allen, Mahomes, Stafford, if you want to go on the NFC side, whatever. So I think he'll play good in this game, but no, I don't think he's going to play up to that kind of level.
All right, so we're 5 for 5 on score predictions for the Chiefs, or in favor of the Chiefs. Cody, I'm assuming you're leaning the same way. What is your score prediction for today's game?
Yeah, I'm not afraid to pick against the Chiefs if the game calls for it, but this ain't the game. 27-20 Chiefs. I think that might be kind of a late Texans. So I guess I got the Texans covering, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way. I just think the Chiefs are the better team. They beat this team less than a month ago, and I think we're going to see the same thing today.
Sounds good, Cody. Thanks for tapping in. Pun intended.
Thanks, guys.
Pun intended there. You like what I did? Tapping
in.
I don't know why I said that. I'll be honest. That was a... Facts.
Well, we got open phone lines.
You said we got a caller?
Yeah, we
913-586-7965. Who are we talking to?
Brian, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? Dude, we're ready to go. What are you doing? Where are you at?
I'm stopping by the liquor store, then heading straight to Arrowhead.
Yeah.
How about that?
Let's go. Okay, what's in store? What liquor are we drinking?
Shit. Probably like a Busch 30. Busch 30 pack.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
There we go. Nice fried. Well, hey, score prediction for you, bro.
Oh, I mean, without a doubt, at least 31-17. I mean, if you don't have two elite wide receivers, you ain't beating the Chiefs. And let's be honest, they don't have that. They're one of the deep touchdowns that they had last game. It came from Tank Dell, and he's not even playing.
Appreciate it, Brian. Thanks, man. Go Chiefs, dude. I'll see you out there.
Yep, see you.
31-17 again.
That's insane. It's getting a little weird.
It's like the score of the day.
It's getting a little weird. Honestly.
Excuse me.
Everyone now should just say 31-17 and call it their own. Let's just all copy Dusty and make him mad.
Shout out to Brian for calling in. 913-586-7965. We'd love to hear your predictions for the next hour and 20 minutes. Who do you think is going to win? How much do you think the Chiefs are going to win by, really? Because I don't think anybody on the text line. There was one person, by the way, this week that was saying the Houston Texans were going to win. I don't know who it was. From the 816.
Oh, wow.
It was not me. It was not me.
Say, all right, Drew, we get it.
It was not me. Somebody texted in from the 816 and said the Houston Texans.
Okay.
They're all about the Houston Texans. I don't know who it was or why somebody with that area code, unless they're from Houston and changed their number.
Well, you told me there was someone on the NFL pregame. Was it Greg Rosenthal?
Greg Rosenthal on NFL Network pregame said that he's taking the Texans. I think it was 23-21. It doesn't. I think that Houston can win this game, Mac, and we can dive into this a little bit more even as we continue to talk about some headlines. But it feels like Houston can win this game, but in order for things to happen, a lot has to happen for Houston to win the game. Where the Chiefs can almost not have a bad game necessarily, they can play. Kind of, you can give a B+ performance or a C performance, B-, and still be able to win the game because I think you can rely on the defense and you can trust in them. It looks like we have a couple more calls as well. Is that right?
Yeah, here we go. What's going on, Justin?
What's up, man?
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm actually drinking coffee for the day, and I probably drink water. I gave up drinking not too long ago. So,
man, all right.
But I'll tell you what, we need you guys. All we can as rowdy as we can possibly get you guys down there. So, get rowdied up.
Oh, I'm gonna be rowdy. I'm gonna be riled up, brother. It'll be
we are
great.
excited.
Yes, yeah. Where are you watching the game? You just watching at your house today?
No, I'm going to watch the game today. Me and my girlfriend, we're going to watch
Nice.
the game at a little pub here in Oklahoma City, and I drink unsweet tea. But so, kind of some things. I got some questions for you guys as far as the game goes. So, how much of a factor do you think the run game is going to be today with Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco? You know, obviously Kareem Hunt's had some. He got used a lot, so he's well rested. As the rest of the team is, but I think he'd be ready to go. I think he's kind of this, he's got a lot to prove. He's got kind of that chip on the shoulder after what he's had to overcome, and he's back in Kansas City. He hasn't been able to experience the Super Bowl wins. So obviously, I think he's gonna be highly motivated for these playoffs. What do you guys think about that?
I agree. I think that there's a lot for Kareem to play for, just because I think I forget who said it. What was it? Bank who said it or was it?
It was Bob.
It was Bob, right? Yeah. In terms of Kareem, I think there's a lot for him to play for. Not just obviously for a win, but I think just in terms of him trying to make up for the years that he felt like he lost when he was a Kansas City Chief, and obviously moving on to Cleveland. He wants to have that good playoff performance to feel like he brought something to a team that can go on ahead and win another Super Bowl. I do think that them getting the rest, him and Pacheco both, I mean, being able to get Pacheco back and in, and also just continue to make sure that his legs are as healthy as can be, and Kareem to just get the rest, period, because at one point he was saying he could barely even get off the couch with how much they were using him. So I would expect, I don't know about a monster game necessarily, but I think that him and Pacheco and that duo are going to be a really big part in not just today's game, but along the entire run that they have to make.
Yeah, it could be an emotional day for Kareem Hunt. It's been a long road home, and thanks for the call, Justin. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
It's could be a game for Kareem where he just says, you know what, I've waited for this moment. I have had some turmoils in my life, some downs, and I have worked so hard to get to this high here in Kansas City and be back. And now he's in a moment where he actually is playing an imperative role. He has been a catalyst to this team. I'm excited for Kareem Hunt today, man. I hope he gets in the end zone. I hope it happens for him. So, and we'll see it today at 3:30.
We might talk about this coming back from break. From the 816, they think that the Mahomes D-Hop connection, Mac, is going to really get shown out today in today's game. We'll give you what he thinks the stat line is going to be for those guys. Coming up next, it is Chiefs extended pregame. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey, 96.5 The Fan. We're talking to all of the personalities here on the station. Coming up in the next hour, we've got Briscoe, we've got Alex Gold joining the show as well to give their predictions for who they think is going to win. Of course, Mac and I will give our predictions to wrap things up. But up next, D-Hop and Mahomes. What can we see out of them today? Don't go anywhere. It's Chiefs extended pregame on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Get ready to elevate your game this NFL playoff season with FanDuel, because right now all customers can get a no-sweat NFL same-game parlay for any game. Just place a 3-leg NFL same-game parlay and you'll get bonus bets back if your bet doesn't win. Same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own or choose from one of the popular SGPs pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. So what are you waiting for? Get your no-sweat same-game parlay on America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/Alex. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max wager $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then. 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs.
That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons you should call us? 1, it's easy. You can hire us today on your phone. 2, it's fast. We can start helping you today. 3, the results.
After my wreck, DM Law got me $200,000. Mike's got this.
Call me. I've got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have over 20 years of experience servicing the KC Metro. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, as well as commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow Service. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Welcome back to Chiefs Extended Pregame on 96.5 The Fan. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey, all the personalities from 96.5 The Fan joining the show today to give their predictions, score predictions. I would assume everybody's going to pick the Chiefs. We still have Gold and Briscoe left to go. I would be stunned if Alex Gold picked anybody but the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, Mac and I will give ours. Mac already gave his a little bit earlier, but if you missed it, we'll give ours to wrap things up. We're going to take your calls here, 913-586-7965. We got Jeremy on the line. Jeremy, thanks for calling into the show. How's it going?
Very well, very well. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs, man.
Let's do it.
So are you watching the game from home?
I'm going to call. I like the 17 for the Texans because I don't think they're going to score much. Us getting Watson back, everybody being on rest. Our defense is going to look different than it has since Watson went down.
Watson,
so I'm going to say 42 for Kansas City. Because now DeAndre Hopkins and Hollywood and Xavier and Kelce and these guys have all been able to work together now for 21 days straight, getting everything locked tight. NFL ain't ready for this. That's what I'm going to say. 42-17.
I love it, Jeremy.
42-17, man.
Thank you for the call,
Thanks
brother.
for calling in.
That is it. And also, that is the perfect. Jeremy just displayed the perfect call. Boom, I come in, I give my take, I'm hot, I'm ready to go. Go Chiefs, and I'm out. That's what we want from our callers. Give us your Chiefs takes. Tell us how hype you are. And then we'll go to the next call.
We got James next. James, what's up?
James, what's going on, bro?
So I got Chiefs 28-10. I've just been thinking of last time the Chiefs played Texans. It was a 24-point comeback. So I got Texans hopping out to a 10-point lead, but the Chiefs off a long rest. They're going to come back, and they're going to score 28 straight, and we're going to go to the AFC Championship.
How about that?
Let's go, James. I love it. Who's scoring a touchdown today? You got 4 touchdowns for us. Give me one.
I got Pacheco with 1. I got a Mahomes rushing touchdown, a Kelce, and a Hopkins playing against his old team.
Are you parlaying that into a bet? I'm just curious.
No.
Okay.
Fair enough. Mean, that's all with the heart, James. I love it. Hey.
I'll make a bet on James' behalf.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
That's what I'm going to do. James, shout out to you. Thank you for calling in. Travis, what's up, Travis? How's it going?
Pretty good. Just on my way to Arrowhead. Drove up from Texas just for this game. Last time I was at a Chiefs playoff game, we beat the Texans and we ran out of fireworks, and I'm expecting that again. So I think the 31's a little low, gentlemen. We got to bump it up to 48-17.
Wow, I love it. Well, okay, so we asked James who was scoring a touchdown. Who's scoring a touchdown for you today?
We're getting Kelce with 3 touchdowns. Guaranteed.
Playoff Kelce in full go.
I love it. He had 3 all regular season. Travis says, yeah, he's matching that today.
Love it, Travis.
100%.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call, and thank you for driving up all the way from Texas, man. That is awesome. That's good stuff.
Yeah, go Chiefs, man. Hope I see you out there.
Yes, sir.
Love it, man. That's awesome. 48-17.
Travis picking Travis Kelce to have 3 touchdowns. It fits. It makes sense.
It fits.
You know?
It works. You know, I love it. I love it.
We got Matthew on the line. Matthew, thanks for calling in. What's up?
Hey, go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Hey, they could have they have the ability to beat them 100-0, but they are not going to have to. So, 31-17. Go Chiefs.
31-17.
Score prediction of the day. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it, man. Oh, my gosh. By the way, so Travis said Travis Kelce gets 3 touchdowns today. Travis is 3 touchdowns away from tying Jerry Rice. So, theoretically, the Chiefs win and Travis gets 3 touchdowns. One more and he breaks the record for touchdowns.
Breaks the record.
For most touchdowns in playoff history. We got Dave on the line. Dave, thank you for calling in. How's it going?
Hey, guys. I think it's going to be a 40-13 win for us. We might see Carson Wentz in the fourth quarter throw a couple touchdowns as well. Go Chiefs.
Thank you for the call, Dave. Let's go.
Playoff Wentz, man. This is these score lines are along the lines of what we saw with the text lines. I saw 42-14 on the text line. Some dominant ones. I do like the comeback again. Everybody's freaking out. 10-0. See, I told you the Chiefs couldn't do this.
Exactly.
That might be the video where I post. You guys got to keep an eye on our social media page, okay? Whether it be Twitter in particular, Instagram as well.
Yes.
96.5 The Fan. Throughout the game, we're going to be giving our reaction to some crazy plays. If somebody goes up and taps C.J. Stroud on the back, if a ref does that, people are going to freak out a little bit. We might have a post about that, but we're going to be giving our thoughts on our social media channels throughout the football game. But yeah, a lot of bold.
A lot of 40 points. I see the Chiefs offense. That's the vibe for today, Drew. Everyone feels like
today.
They're healthy. They're rested, not rusty. Everyone's ready to go. From the 816 is an interesting thought here, Drew. And we can kind of touch on this for a couple minutes before we get out of here. Do you think this is a case of the Chiefs doing just what it takes to win and saving exotic plays for a potentially tougher matchup next week? I don't hate that thought, 816, but I will say, like we brought up, Drew, and you made the instance of, or the reference of Andy Reid's bag. I do think he starts to kind of dig deep into that a little bit today.
Oh, of course. I feel like as soon as we got to the playoffs, he was going to open things up a little bit. He's not going to show everything, I don't think, because I'm sure that there's some plays to the texter's point following up to that text, Mike. They said, I just don't see them scoring a ton unless they have to. I feel like Andy's not going to show a ton unless they have to, where if they get up to that, if they get up and they're comfortable, maybe there's not as much there that Andy shows in terms of creativity that he's got until we see the Ravens or the Bills or until they potentially make the Super Bowl. I do feel like we're going to see more, though, from Andy because, again, it is the playoffs. This is where everybody says the season starts for them because it's just how the Chiefs do things. They make the playoffs, and then that's when the season starts. It's all the way up to this point. That's why we're so pumped up for today is because it feels like the first game, Mac, that's really mattered a ton. I know Dusty referred to this as like the opening act, essentially, for Ravens-Bills tomorrow, but I still feel like Chiefs fans, this is what they've been waiting for since September. Like opening night was great. It was cool. It was fun. But this is where everything really gets the juices flowing for Chiefs fans and for the city and for the team in general and specific. Not that they weren't focused in other games, but they're ready to go today because this is where things start. They're 3 games away from getting that three-peat.
Well, and it's one of those things where the whole season it's kind of been just get it to the playoffs. Win this game and we'll figure it out, get to the playoffs. And finally they are in that moment where they can let loose. I feel like they want to go out and have some fun today. It's been a minute since they've scored over 30 points, as in not all season. I think they want to go do that today and have some touchdown dances that they've been working on for over 3 weeks. Like, I think they're ready from the 913, getting geeked up for the playoffs. Bro, I'm right there with you.
You see the text below it, the first one we've had today. I don't think this was the same individual from the 785. Texans 19, Chiefs 17. Boo that man.
Trash. Come on. No. Hey, that's
even
fine.
I'm not picking even I am not picking the Houston Texans. Excuse me.
Even the Bengals fan, Drew, is not picking the Texans.
Coming up next, we're going to talk to Josh Briscoe. He's the editor of Chiefs on SI. He joins all of our shows once a week. Our Chiefs insider is going to join. He's going to give his pick, as well as we're going to talk some of the storylines as well with Josh.
Yeah.
And then Alex Gold is also going to join in the final hour of Chiefs Extended Pregame. I'm Drew Nixon. Mac Morey is producing the show now after I produced it for the first half. That's just how we do things. We are grinding, putting in that work for you, getting you ready to go for Chiefs Texans. Up next, Josh Briscoe. It's Extended Chiefs Pregame on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Cooler days and nights are here. Is your car's heat working? Stay warm this winter with the help of Midwest Auto Services. Call 816-224-4247 to set an appointment or go to MidwestAutoservices.com.
Hey, diamond lovers. Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. When it's this important, you want someone who knows exactly how to work with your budget. Not against it. Someone who knows you deserve a piece more beautiful than you've ever imagined. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've always sourced our diamonds and gemstones directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in different shapes and sizes. So many in stock and ready to take home today. Create your dream engagement ring in 3 easy steps. Or pick a perfectly preset ring that's created by our in-house design team. Browse our selection of fine jewelry gifts for everyone in your life, from diamond and gemstone studs to must-have tennis bracelets and beautiful birthstone necklaces. With our everyday competitive prices and unmatched free lifetime warranty, Shane Company is your go-to destination for fine jewelry. Visit shaneco.com and come in to see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Get a free any-size coffee with Casey's Rewards. See Casey's Rewards for details.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on SingleCare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to SingleCare.com or download the free app today.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, price lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project. At Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Chiefs, Texans, Saturday at 3:30 right here on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
The Carolina Panthers are sending Deontay Johnson to the Baltimore Ravens. So Kansas City goes out, gets an edge rusher, and D-Hop. Baltimore says, okay, we'll play that game. We'll go get a better receiver, Deontay Johnson.
And now Mahomes looking right. Now the back of the end zone caught. DeAndre Hopkins, welcome to the Chiefs kingdom. Your first kingdom touchdown.
The Chiefs should be concerned about this game. At every level defensively versus the Chiefs offense, the Texans should win. Advantage Texans because you've already gotten used to Mahomes. Chiefs should be concerned about this game.
And they give it off. Kareem Hunt lowers the shoulder and takes a Texan right into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Am I giving Houston a chance? Of course.
Chiefs look to the triangle side out route. It is called touchdown. Left front pylon. Xavier Worthy is having a game.
I definitely see this O-line. It definitely has its leap holes, and it definitely has its their struggles. But I feel like that we can take advantage of that. We got an elite D-line. I feel like Pat's a little banged up, so I don't know if he's gonna play or not. But I hope he's mobile enough because we coming in Arrowhead.
You guys plan to get after that?
Yeah, for sure. Pat better make a good decision. I ain't making no threats. I'm making promises.
Mahomes on the far hash in the pocket, stepping up and trying to squeeze through, stays on his feet. 10, 5, Mahomes is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City on that bad ankle, stepping through the pocket, running all the way to the sweet nectar of the end zone.
The Texans are blah, 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 blah. Josh Briscoe, editor of Chiefs on SI, video game lover, and also one of our Chiefs insiders here on 96.5 The Fan, joins myself, Drew Nixon, Mac Morey, also co-hosting the show, getting you ready for Chiefs Texans. Josh, what's up?
What's going on, fellas? All those things in the introduction, all true, and I'm excited to be on here with the big dogs for once. We finally got the big guns out.
Exactly right.
Playoff
How about
action.
that?
I love that. I love that you're here. I love that we're talking about a playoff game that kicks off sooner than you think. I'm not in line tailgating or anything, but I'm beginning to feel the playoff energy.
That's something that we've just seen from everybody. Coming into this, into the show even, I was talking to Rob yesterday, Josh and Mac today. It just feels like this is what everybody's been waiting for. This is when the season starts. We've been waiting for so long now, it feels like, to have a quote-unquote meaningful Chiefs game where now we get one. Everybody's ready to go. Everybody is juiced up. It just feels like this is finally the playoffs. Or even last week, it didn't even feel like the postseason. It feels like it today.
And really, the Chiefs have gone through such a weird season. Obviously, a very successful one. I'm not complaining here. But week one felt like week one. It's kicking off the NFL season. It goes down to the wire against a good Ravens team. And that had all the energy of like a season opener. The next week, that Bengals game, sorry to bring it up, Drew, it comes down to 1 point. And that feels like, that is week two. NFL energy is flowing. And then after that, the Chiefs have some injuries stack up, some kind of weird matchups early on. The middle of the season felt like kind of a slog as they were having to get away without Rashee Rice and Isaiah Pacheco and Jalen Watson and some other guys for single games here or there. And all the way through, even that Bills game, which is obviously the only loss of the year with their starters involved, the Bills game felt a little bit like the Chiefs were, I don't want to say holding back their good stuff because I kind of push back on that sometimes, but that didn't feel like a playoff game for the Chiefs. It felt like a game the Bills needed to win to prove their value. The Chiefs can only prove themselves in mid to late January and then ultimately that second Sunday of February, and it feels like we have finally now begun that journey with this team after not quite a long preseason. That would be overstating it, but a weird year that now has gotten the Chiefs to the point where it really matters again. It's great.
Yeah, a weird, long year that's felt like, wow, 15-2, really? That's what it is? But now here we are, the last 3 weeks where the starters were in, looked great, but that was around 3 weeks ago, Josh. We haven't brought it up all morning. I know some listeners will roll their eyes. I will too, but I got to bring it up. Rest versus rust. Do you have any worry about that? It feels like that's gotten thrown out the window this week.
You got to bring it up, but I will tell you that I have literally none. I mean, I guess on some level, if Patrick Mahomes goes out there and he sails a pass on the first drive and go, all right, he hasn't thrown a meaningful pass since Christmas Day. But that's still a huge positive for this team. Not just the fact that obviously upsets happen, injuries happen. The Ravens are kind of up in the air with Zay Flowers, depending on how long their playoff run goes. all of those things the Chiefs avoided by not having to play in Week 18, not having to play in the wild card round, there was never an argument for me about trying to do anything to overcompensate for the time off. Plus, and Andy Reid talked about this in a little bit of that break, or right after the break wrapped up, they were doing things in practice to try to continue to keep them up at speed. All you got to do was see Travis Kelce not get hit 25 times for no reason against the Broncos in Week 18. So, no, I mean, there could be a moment of it right out of the gate, but Patrick Mahomes, for most of his career, usually is a little more amped in like the first drive of a playoff game. I think less so last season, but he had a little bit of a trend there of again, like leaving a couple balls high early on. Then after that, I just don't think it's going to be a problem at all. I think it is way more beneficial that all these guys are the freshest that anyone has been in this league since Week 1. That's way more important than them being maybe a little bit out of routine.
All right, let's say we're sitting at 7 o'clock Central Time in our places, wherever we're at. If you're at Arrowhead after the game, or I'm in my apartment building or whatever, Max getting ready to go home, and the Chiefs win. How does that win look?
I think, honestly, I have not been like a huge homer this whole season. I have not picked blowout wins at any point this season. But I think we're all going to have not only a pretty good post game together and a pretty good weekend in Kansas City, I think we're going to have a pretty good second half in terms of the fun and stress levels here. I think the Texans deserve a lot of credit for what they did last week against the Chargers. It was the best they've looked since losing Tank Dell on December 21st, before that Christmas game, or before the next week of Christmas games, obviously against the Chiefs. They were spiraling through the end of the season. They looked better against the Chargers. That really, again, congratulations, non-sarcastically. Like, that is a good pivot for them, considering their injuries. But right now, the Chiefs are healthy on both sides of the football. Obviously, Rashee Rice still out. But they're healthier than they've been on both sides of the football in a very, very long time. They have the quarterback. They have enough offensive weapons for that quarterback now. Hopefully, Joe Thuney at left tackle can continue to be stable there. But I think the Chiefs are pretty thoroughly the better team on both sides of the ball. I think they have the coaching advantage. The Texans are a real team. Like, I'm not saying that there's a 100% chance this thing is over by halftime, but I really think the Chiefs are in a position to score more than 30 points for the first time this year.
There we go.
And to win this game pretty handily.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I think this offense is going to get revved up, really ready to go. I think Hopkins is going to be on the field a lot. Hollywood's fully integrated. You mentioned Joe Thuney, left tackle. You feel good about that decision?
It's honestly the thing that I'm a little bit surprised by from this week, and then I have a little bit of nerves for on like Patrick Mahomes' behalf. I think the good news is that I could see a way, obviously I think it's going to be Thuney from here on now, but I could have made the argument that the Chiefs can absolutely win the Super Bowl with either Thuney at tackle and Caliendo at guard, or with Humphreys at tackle and Thuney at guard. I thought that they would favor Humphreys and Thuney as the left side there, as opposed to reportedly going Thuney Caliendo today, which is what Jeremy Fowler had yesterday. So I am left with a little bit of pause. I'm a little concerned if they are going to be able to run the offense as fully as they'd like to with Thuney. I don't think that they're going to have any plan to like kick Humphreys back out there in the championship game, or you think that have to be a disaster for I think them to make an in-game adjustment now, starting with Thuney and Caliendo. So I have a bit of concern. I think that's probably more concern about Caliendo at guard than Thuney at tackle, though, which is why I narrowly favored the Humphreys-Thuney duo before we had the news yesterday.
I don't know if this is like a more underrated storyline, but in that game, in the first game between Houston and KC, the Chiefs forced 2 turnovers. They scored 10 points off those turnovers. Ironically, the scoreline was 8 points, even though it felt like it might have been a little bit more. Does it feel like the turnover margin in this one, whoever wins the turnover battle is the one that's going to win the game, or is it a little bit deeper? Obviously, we think more things have to go right for Houston, more things have to go wrong for Kansas City in order for Houston to win the game than right maybe for Houston. But is turnovers a major factor in how Houston can actually win this game?
Yeah, I think you're on the track there, where I think the Chiefs could lose the turnover battle narrowly and still win this game, and maybe still win it by a couple possessions. But if I'm building an argument for the Texans to win this game, I think it is a day of quick pressures and trying to get to Mahomes so fast that he can't get rid of the football, even as the offense has sped up, and then absolutely capitalizing on those moments with turnovers. It does mean a Mahomes pass that sails early. The Texans need to catch that pass and not assume they're going going to get another chance in the third quarter. That means trying to get Isaiah Pacheco to put the ball on the ground. Not that Pacheco or Kareem Hunt is carrying the football around like LaShawn McCoy did. They're both pretty secure there, high and tight. But I really don't see a very likely path for the Texans to win this game without winning the turnover battle. I think the Chiefs have a little bit of margin for error, but the Chiefs have played close games this year. Again, different versions of this team. They played close games this year where their self-inflicted wounds were the reason that they were close games. So that's always on the table. The Texans just have to maximize on those opportunities.
Give us your score, Briscoe.
It's a little, I've said it several times now. It makes me feel a little weird every time.
Okay.
But I'm going 31-13. I think this is sort of I think this is the Chiefs' reinsertion into the top of the AFC in sort of the national discourse this week. Bills-Ravens, I understand why it's carried the analysis, because that game is more enticing than Chiefs-Texans on the AFC side. But going into next week, I think it's going to be the high-flying, back-to-postseason form Chiefs going up against whoever survives Ravens-Bills.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, bro. Make
Love
sure
it.
you're
Thanks,
loud
Josh.
from your house, man.
Absolutely, fellas. I hope we get to do this again before the AFC Championship game. If you need me Super Bowl Sunday, I will make some time.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
See you, fellas.
Later. 31-13.
Okay.
I was thinking he was going to say. As soon as he said 31, I was like, here we go again.
I was like, say it. I was close, though. We're in the same ballpark there. I love it.
I think it is interesting. And look, I don't want to, obviously, I don't think any of us believe the Chiefs are going to win. I feel like it's fair to also make the argument for what does this look like if the Chiefs actually, breaking down some things, what does it look like if the Chiefs don't win this game? And Logan Weber has got you in our extended post-game show a little bit later on this evening to break down how it all happened. Also, I'm sure he's going to have some people on to take your calls as well. That'll be right here after the game is done, again, with Chiefs extended post-game. But I think it is fair, Mac, in the same breath of, hey, this is how I think the Chiefs are going to win. This is what it's going to take. What does it take for them to actually lose? There's more margin for error. I think Josh hit it on the head. More things have to go right for the Houston Texans than have to go wrong for the Chiefs, in my opinion, in terms of Houston has to do something where the Chiefs are not going to make those mistakes. We've seen this time and time again, not even necessarily in the regular season as much as in the postseason. They are as laser focused, they are as locked in as they can be, as they need to be, time in and time out, where Houston has to go out and get the job done more than if the Chiefs say there's a bad turnover. I don't know. Something happens. They can afford that sort of a mistake where Houston cannot afford in any way, shape, or form to turn the ball over if they want to have a shot to win this game.
Completely agree. No, it is imperative that the Texans win the turnover battle, just as Briscoe said, and they do so early and often. If they miss a pick, if they miss a fumble, it could be GG's.
Sounds good. Up next, Alex Gold from Cody and Gold is going to join. He's going to give a score prediction, and we're going to break things down a little bit more, getting you ready for Chiefs and Texans. It's extended Chiefs pregame on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
For over 87 years, GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, has offered health and dental benefits designed to meet the unique needs of federal employees and retirees, military retirees, and their families. With over 2 million members and growing, GEHA continues to serve those members and families who serve us all every day. At GEHA, your health is not our business, it's our purpose. GEHA, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Learn more at GEHA.com.
If you're hearing this, you're in Chiefs Kingdom, the land of champions. And what do champions do? They win. Play the world champions, Kansas City Chiefs instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery for a chance to win up to $75,000. Or enter your tickets into the Play On app for a chance to win one-of-a-kind Chiefs experiences. Because the only thing better than winning is winning again. See KSLottery.com for details.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then. 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or Hellsberg.com.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Get a free any-size coffee with Casey's Rewards. See Casey's Rewards for details.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bag all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
This weekend only at Old Navy, score $15 jeans for adults and $10 jeans for kids. That's denim for the entire fam. $15 jeans for adults, $10 jeans for kids this Saturday and Sunday only at Old Navy. Valid 1/18 and 19, select styles only.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
5 years later, here we are again.
And that's a fake punt. They fake the right side and tackled short of the first down. Great play. Dirty Dan Sorensen would not be fooled. He's going to try to hold it, throws it late, and is it caught it's caught, touchdown! Kansas City, the Chiefs take the lead.
Chiefs and Texans in the divisional round live from Arrowhead Stadium. Right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Chiefs extended pregame continuing here on 96.5 The Fan. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey, co-hosting the show together. We got Alex Gold from Cody and Gold joining the show now. What's up?
What's going on, guys? You guys ready? I've been listening a little bit. I was already in the building, so I figured why not just stop in? Why call on the phone? We got things to talk about.
It's always better in studio.
I told Mac to be careful with the fireball bucket over there, though, before he goes.
Don't take the whole thing,
I said, don't
please.
take the whole bucket. You're going as a fan. You're Ubering there. Hey, go grab like 5 or 6 of the shooters, but yeah, you can't take the whole bucket, man.
Right,
we need to save those for Club 965 or Fan Club Friday.
It feels like this is finally where things really get going. That's what I was talking to Rob about it yesterday and Mac today, that we've waited. Like, opening night obviously is a great deal, and we're waiting for like the big game to finally come. And now we're here where we're 3 games away. This is where the season starts. Chiefs fans are used to being in the playoffs, and this is where things really get started.
It is absolutely. No doubt. I mean, all year the talk of three-peat, and you got to get through the regular season, everything, sure. And like there's nothing like the kind of, even from a fan, the grind of a regular season, if you will. But Chiefs fans by now also know, like, okay, the stakes are raised. And to a certain extent, like, for some fans, maybe it's not till next weekend if the Chiefs are there, when they're in their 7th straight AFC title game. But today, I mean, we all know the tailgating atmosphere that's going to be out there. It's already out there. People have been lined up for hours and hours and hours. There's just a different vibe the minute you walk into Arrowhead for a playoff game. Like, I'm even talking way before, whether it's the parking lot or just you're walking down to your seat, whether you're in the 300 level or the 100 level, just the energy in the building an hour before kickoff is something that you just don't get in a random Week 6 game.
And we've talked about the energy even in the city. I don't know about you, Gold, but even just these last couple of days, I went out to OP and I went over to Joe's, had some barbecue.
Of course you did.
Of course I did, baby. Red Friday, of course. Brothers in town. Got to get some BBQ going. It was great by one of my best friends. First Chiefs game he's ever been to. He's not a Chiefs fan, but he's supporting
This is his
the Kingdom.
first
Chiefs game,
That's
bro.
beautiful.
It's going to be great. Yeah, he's going to go. He's tailgating with Fesco right now, so you know he's having a good time. But have you felt the vibe shift already in the city? Like we're all ready, dude.
Well, yeah. So I went out to dinner last night as well, and it was Red Friday, but you don't at dinner on a Friday, even in the regular season you don't see everybody wearing red at a restaurant. Last night, table after table after table was wearing red. Yeah, the energy in the city is amped up. Everybody right now is in a great mood and excited, and hopefully it continues throughout the day. And you guys already know, you guys have talked about it. We've got extended postgame tonight, so hopefully it's a celebration and a party, and then gearing up to make watching Sunday Night Football even more enjoyable. But I think people should be confident heading into this game. And you guys have gone over it already on the show. Like, this is the round where the Chiefs and Mahomes dominate.
Is there? We've gone through a lot of the different storylines, left tackle stuff, obviously. Our show on Cody and Gold felt like some relief in a way of, okay, they went with Joe Thuney, thank you.
Yes.
A lot of people, there have been people who have texted in, D-Hops is going to have that big game. If the Chiefs win this one, it's post game and we're sitting back, we asked Briscoe the same thing. What does that win look like in your mind? Is it they win the turnover battle and they dominate on defense? Is it offense actually puts up some points? How does a win look like in your mind?
I think it's the offense. Even though I feel good about the defense, especially with Jalen Watson coming back and how that they can handle Nico Collins. Let Dalton Schultz, the tight end, go get his. Like, if you're worried about that, we'll go make a bet and make your money on Dalton Schultz getting some yards. Other than that, he's, to me, not going to be the difference maker for the Texans. For the Chiefs, it's the offense. I mean, Hollywood Brown's first game was against this Houston Texans team, and we saw how involved he was right away. So what is the Texans' plan defensively? Does Kelce continue to go off in the postseason the way he has? I think there's a great chance that happens. But if not, like, D-Hop's the guy that I would not be surprised at all if we're sitting here saying, oh, yeah, that's why we were so excited they traded for Hopkins. Not just the big third down catches, stat line ends at 40 yards, and if you didn't watch the game, you're like, oh, he didn't really have much of an impact. I think the stat line might even show at this time where he could have 5 catches in the game, 70-plus yards, and a touchdown. I really think D-Hop has a chance to be unleashed to a certain extent here in the postseason. But the matchup, if it's played even today, the Texans can't win. Like, if it's a clean game, the Texans cannot win today. The Texans, to win, they have to have multiple turnovers. I think they also have to have a couple short fields, whether that's because of a turnover or, hey, there's a punt return and there's botched coverage and they take it down to the Chiefs' 15-yard line and Stroud only has to go 15 yards. I think that's the only way I can see the Texans winning it outright.
Yeah, a couple nightmare scenarios for the Chiefs, and all of a sudden it's 14-3, and they've got the ball again, and it's the second quarter, and people are going, whoa, this isn't the way we thought this would start. You mentioned DeAndre Hopkins. I'm big on him today, too. Got a couple bets on him. What parlays are you lining up? What lines do you like?
So a couple of my favorite bets involve Mahomes on the ground. So come playoff time, we all know the numbers bear it out that Mahomes runs the ball more, and he ends up with more productivity, not just on yardage, but touchdowns. And he's willing to put his body on the line more. So a couple bets we lock into. One, Mahomes over 23.5 rushing yards. Mahomes' longest rush over 11.5 yards. I believe he has 4 straight games of 10-plus yard rushes on the season. And then an anytime touchdown sprinkle. I don't like anytime touchdown bets as much as maybe a year or so ago because the markets have shifted in a way in which there's not as much value. But the one player I think there's value on for this afternoon, Mahomes to find the end zone. Remember, we're talking this has to be on the ground. It's not there's not a passing touchdown, but 5-1 right now for him to rush one in. He's more. He's more willing to do that in the regular in the postseason, the regular season. I'm not saying a QB sneak. That's still not happening. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a play breaks down and he just takes off down the sideline and the Texans are afraid to shove him out of bounds and then they bitch and moan about it later on, that it was cheating or something.
He had one of those against the Houston Texans earlier on where he ran in for an end zone. Are you at all nervous that we're going to see an Azeez Al-Shaair a little bit over-aggressive play in this one? That'll
get cleared up quickly, though. That'll get cleared up quickly. To me, like, if there's any sort of, it seems like it's a cheap shot, that's where Trey Smith, Travis Kelce, any of those guys, Creed Humphrey, those guys take care of that very quickly. No, I'm not worried about him getting knocked out of the game because of somebody
Hopefully
like that.
Not,
no,
yes.
I think that'll get settled pretty quickly. Plus, that guy is in danger of another one of those type of hits. He'll be suspended all next season. He's had enough of them now.
Yeah, 100%. I've got a $5 bet on Travis to score 2 touchdowns. What do you think, Gold? Plus 1,100? I sprinkled 5.
Okay, if it's a sprinkle, then how can you hate it if it's $5?
Good.
Like, right?
Okay.
Like, I don't think there's a bad $1 or $5 bet that exists. I would say you guys went over it earlier. Like 14 postseason games in a row with 5 or more catches, 13 postseason games in a row with 70 or more yards.
Unbelievable.
My favorite bet is more the yardage for him. But if you believe he flips that switch like he did last postseason, then my only hesitation is it's such a popular bet. Like
everyone's talking
everybody's
about it.
because everybody knows the trend that's out there. And
it was
and
plus 1,300 a couple days ago. It's a plus 11 now.
Part of me, like just because of that, part of me wants to actually take Noah Gray to have a touchdown or two.
Yeah, I get that.
Because you watch.
Fade.
You know, that's the only thing. Sometimes when everybody's on something, I do like to go in the opposite direction. But the logic's all there. I totally get why you're betting it. I mean, all the trends are in the direction of Travis Kelce having another monster day at Arrowhead.
Chiefs Extended Pregame. We're joined by Alex Gold of Cody and Gold. Listen live from 10 to 2, Monday through Friday. All right, I think we're all picking the Chiefs to win. What's your scoreline?
Yeah, of course they're going to win this thing, guys. I think this is comfortable, though. You know, I think the score I gave on our social video, 33-23, something like that. I can't remember. It was some combination. 34-23. There you go. 34-23
That was what it was.
Was the score that I gave. I think they're going to have success moving the ball because how do you shut down all the different weapons for Kansas City? C.J. Stroud, I just think nothing's going to play terribly. I just think he's going to really struggle because he doesn't have Tank Dell out there. And Jalen Watson is massive for the Nico Collins matchup. So 34-23.
Yes!
That's right. I don't think they're running out of fireworks like they did in 2020 in January of 2020 when Arrowhead ran out of fireworks because the Chiefs put up 51. I don't think that's happening. But if you want a fun one, just like something else to happen in game, it was in 2020, Dan Sorensen that tackled Justin Reed on the fake punt. I want to see Justin Reed be involved in some sort. I don't know what it is, but whether it's him tackling a fake punt try for the Texans, who might be aggressive today to say the least, or Justin Reed has a big pick, something like that.
Like it. We're all on the Chiefs, it seems like, here on the Chiefs Extended Pregame Show. Shout out to Gold again. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, brother.
Enjoy the game. Up next, there's a lot of different storylines. We're going to run them through all of them. Again, Joe Thuney is going to be the left tackle, the impacts of that, as well as could Chris Jones actually have a big day? Weaker Texans offensive line. Chris Jones could have himself a day. We'll talk about that and more as Chiefs Extended Pregame continues right here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Get ready to elevate your game this NFL playoff season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Because right now, all customers can get a no-sweat NFL same-game parlay for any game. All you need to do is place a 3-leg NFL same-game parlay, and you'll get bonus bets back if your bet doesn't win. Same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at an even bigger payout. So you can build your own or choose from one of the popular same-game pre-built models right there on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Get your no-sweat same-game parlay today on America's #1 sportsbook app. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after retreat. Max wagers $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help us your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
At Shane Company, we make finding your perfect engagement ring fun and easy. Because let's be honest, you might feel a little stressed out. We get it. That's why we do all the hard stuff. It's our job to bring you the biggest selection of beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones, so many amazing settings, and all the customization your heart desires. We've got your style and your price range covered, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Come in for a warm welcome and leave with your dream ring and an experience you'll never forget. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hello, America. This is LeVar Arrington. As a gun owner, I understand the importance of being prepared. But it's crucial to recognize that according to law enforcement statistics, 99% of all altercations do not require lethal force. Introducing Byrna, the leader in less lethal self-defense. And you know I'm all about defense. Byrna provides formidable stopping power without the complexities and potential legal consequences of a homicide. It's about having the right tools for the right situation, ensuring you can protect protect yourself and your family effectively and responsibly. I personally own several Byrna launchers. Byrna launchers are legal in all 50 states with no background checks, no permits, and no waiting period. You can have one shipped straight to your door, providing peace of mind when you need it most. Every Byrna launcher is hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana by a proud American company. Visit Byrna.com/LeVar and get 10% discount off your purchase. That's Byrna, BYRNA.com/LeVar. Byrna, where safety meets responsibility and preparation meets peace of mind.
It's just not normal. The pain calls from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it's become your new normal. Short-term fixes are not working. Make the decision now to say no, not going to live with it. Get moving again in 2025 with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people with pain have discovered these cellular treatments and they're living life again without that constant pain in their joints. Want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints, get lasting relief with these amazing treatments? Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
What's up? It's Patrick Mahomes, and you're listening to The Home for Chiefs Football. 96.5, The Fan.
Minutes left of Chiefs Extended Pregame, getting you ready for Chiefs and Texans. The Chiefs Radio Network will take things over at the top of the hour. I'm Drew Nixon. Mac Morey also co-hosting, taking turns running the board. We're doing everything that we can to get you as ready as you can be. Whether you're tailgating out at Arrowhead already, like Bob Fesco and tens of hundreds of thousands of others, it seems like that line just keeps getting longer to get into Arrowhead to tailgate. Mac's going to be going out there as well. Let us know where you're at if you're out there at Arrowhead or however you may be listening. Thank you very much for tuning in to the show today. So one thing that, we just kind of talked about with Gold, Mac, and just in general of how much do we see of the playbook from Andy Reid? Is this you throw everything at the Texans because, hey, it's the playoffs and now it matters, and you're going to see some new things sprinkled in that we never saw over the course of the regular season? Is this one of those games that we see it come out, or do we see the entire kitchen sink maybe after a game like this where it's against the Baltimore Ravens or the Buffalo Bills, a game that most people think is going to be and should be tougher than this one against the Houston Texans for the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I think the kitchen sink is on the Houston side. This is a Houston Texans kitchen sink.
They have to throw everything.
Yeah, they will be throwing everything. So Gold mentioned fake punts. Like, that's going to happen today. 4th down and 5s on their own side of the field. Like, that sort of stuff is going to happen today. Not for 3 points, for 6 points. They are going to go for 2 in certain scenarios. They may have an onside kick. I was going to say a surprise onside kick. The NFL says no fun in the league. We're not allowed to do that anymore, so you have to announce it. But either way, they're going to try everything. Trick plays, flea flickers, reverses, things like that. Eligible linemen in the red zone that catch touchdown passes. Legitimately, not just for fun, but because out of necessity, that is what the Texans are going to have to throw at the Chiefs in order to win this game. They can't do it with basic runs and little jet sweeps and nice passes. Like, their normal system set of offense is not going to get it done today. I saw the eye roll there, but that's the case.
I know.
That's the fact of the matter.
I didn't roll my eyes. I was like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I don't know if we're going to – I think the fake punts and the going for it on 4th down stuff is what we'll see. I don't know if we'll see the –
flea flickers, reverses.
Yeah, I mean –
linemen catching passes. I think all that's up for grabs.
I think we're more likely to see a lineman catch a pass for the Kansas City Chiefs than we are the Houston Texans.
That's fair just because of it's Andy Reid.
I think but you're right, though, in the fact that –
the point's still the same.
You're right, though, in the fact to where if the Chiefs are up 7-0 – and the Texans have the ball on their own 40 and it's 4th and 1, I think they should go for it. I think they're going. The Houston Texans need to be everything that Mike Tomlin was not in that game against the Baltimore Ravens. If you remember, Mac, they're down, I think it was 14-0 in the second quarter. They had 4th and 1 on about the 40-yard line, and Mike Tomlin chose to punt the ball. It didn't make any sense at all whatsoever given the scenario. Houston, I think to your point, they are underdogs so much to the point where they literally have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, I think we all can admit, the Chiefs have more to lose in this game than they do to gain, because if they win, okay, this is where they typically are at anyways. Yeah, they're supposed to be there. Houston has absolutely, there is no pressure on the Houston Texans in this game. If they win, though, if they win, all of a sudden it turns into a CJ Stroud's in the conversation with only Joe Burrow and Tom Brady, and he's the only one to beat Mahomes in a division. All of it changes for Houston if they win the game. But there's no pressure to do it. So to your point, I think you're absolutely right, though, in the fact that we're going to see Houston go for it more often than we've ever seen them go for it all season, I would assume, unless they have the lead. If they're down 7-0, they should go for it and be the aggressor. We're not settling for field goals against the Kansas City Chiefs. The ball's at the 30-yard line. We're not kicking the ball. We are going for it on 4th down. We are going to be the team that the Buffalo Bills really were in that game, because one of the things that we talked about, at least on our show, Cody and Gold, Mac, I'm sure you guys did too, was Sean McDermott has kind of figured things out from an aggression standpoint. You cannot be passive as an opposing team against the Kansas City Chiefs. You have to be the aggressor. You've got to be the ones to go and score touchdowns. You've got to go for it even if you up by 2 points. Like a field goal, it's not going to do anything. You need to go for it and try to essentially put your foot on their necks in a way. Houston is going to try to do that, and they should do that. We'll have to see how things go. Of course, the game can change, and they might, who knows? They might be up 7-0, and then they decide not to be aggressive. I think you should still be aggressive in that point, because you got to try to get them when you can. But more has to go right for the Houston Texans, and maybe there's a little bit of luck. I know that I've mentioned luck before. It's better to be lucky than good sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Chiefs have had some fortune go their way this year. Houston, I feel like they're going to have some fortune go their way, because I think Gold made a good point. If this game is clean, nobody turns the ball over, Houston has no chance of winning the game.
Zero.
I agree that Houston's got to make a play in some way, shape, or form. They need some fortune. Butker, who's been a little bit sketchy lately. I don't know what your confidence level is,
exactly.
Mac, on Butker. Maybe we can get to that in a second, but maybe he misses a field goal and it kills some momentum there. There's got to be some fortune, I think, for Houston to be able to be in this game anyways, but you're going to see about everything for the Houston Texans. From the 816, the Chiefs have played in 4 Super Bowls. They're not feeling any pressure in this game. I agree. There's not pressure on Kansas City in my mind either. I don't think they should be feeling pressure, but they have the most to lose. That doesn't mean that there's any pressure on them to win the game, because there is no pressure on them to win the game. But Houston has a bigger opportunity to win this game. If Kansas City wins, nobody's going to say anything about the Chiefs, are they, Mac? I mean, the conversation is going to be, all right, let's just see who they play tomorrow. It's not
exactly.
Nothing is going to change. People are not going to be wowed that they beat the Houston Texans at all.
I think Cody said it perfectly. It's only a legacy game for the Texans and for CJ Stroud if they win. And then it becomes a massive legacy builder, and a pillar of C.J. Stroud's young career is to say, hey, guys, I stopped the 3-peat. He'd instantly ascend into top 5, top 6 talks. From the 816, the Chiefs have played in 4 Super Bowls. They're not feeling pressure in this game. And I'll add on to the 816, I don't think they are feeling pressure, period. Which you could say, oh, well, they've done it before. Why would they be feeling pressure, Mac? Oh, because they are venturing to do something that's never been done before. Because they haven't played football in 3 weeks, because they haven't been fully healthy all season. There are multiple reasons you could say, oh, they should feel some pressure. They're not going to feel that today, certainly, and they will not feel it next week, and I don't think they'll feel it in New Orleans either.
That was my argument as well, and I know that for us, I think it's easy for us to say, oh yeah, they're going to be thinking about the 3. To me, I don't think they would say anything like they're going to be asked about it if they make it to New Orleans a ton. But I wonder if when let's say they go and they win. I think the final franchise video that you see on the Chiefs YouTube page or whatever it is, if somebody's asked about it, I think if you really asked a player, did you feel more pressure in the Super Bowl? I think there's some pressure there, but I think it only takes a play or two for you to realize, hey, it's just another game. Like Xavier Worthy was asked about that earlier this week. Like, do you feel any more pressure? He's like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, I don't feel pressure in these moments. Like, I don't feel like there's any extra pressure. It's just another game. Like, that's what the guys have told me. Like, to a player, and I think Andy Reid deserves credit for this. I don't know if for players, I think it's different. Where for us, we feel like some pressure. Like, we're amped up. We're ready to go. But for players, if you're in it in the moment, you're so focused on that one game and matchup. I don't think they care about the story. It doesn't impact them as much as it does you or I or any of the listeners, where we pay attention to the noise. We discuss the noise and all of that other stuff. I really don't think it matters. It matters, but it doesn't make them feel any sort of extra pressure because they want to win every game. You know, they game plan for it so much where it's just like any other game, literally, where if they take care of business in the game plan, they're going to win the game. And it's not, just because it's the Super Bowl doesn't mean that there's an extra part of the game plan that you need to adjust for. There's nothing that extra that you need to adjust for outside of maybe a longer halftime. That's it. Xavier Worthy's used to long halftimes. College football has
extremely long halftimes.
The National Football League's halftime show is basically a typical college football halftime show. It's a typical college football halftime. So Xavier Worthy and any of the rookies are used to this stuff.
For the 816, you guys acting like Houston's a bye week. You guys are losing by 14 plus.
There we are.
Woo! Give me that,
baby. It took a little bit.
And, you know, I saw from On3 Sports today on X, formerly Twitter, that top quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes came in on this whatever list at number 4. Drew number 4 for the top quarterbacks left in the playoffs. Are the Chiefs somehow getting the nobody believes in us underdog narrative again? Have the NFL media and texters like the 816 somehow gifted this Chiefs team another chip on the shoulder moment, another narrative piece to say, wow, really? We're the team? We're the group of guys that no one believes in? I think that's a possibility here for the Chiefs, and I think that could start here today. Like I said, bro, and we'll get it to the other side, Drew, this is an FU game from Patrick Mahomes.
I feel like it's a game certainly where there's nobody really talking about him in this regular season. Like, he wasn't in the MVP conversation. He has not been in the MVP conversation like that. He hasn't even been in the best quarterback of this season conversation if you pay attention to national conversation. But I think that Houston's not a bye week. But if you look at the way that things have gone for this team, and I think that, Houston has a really good defense, but And maybe it's a little bit of Chiefs fans being spoiled. Maybe it's like first world problems sort of thing where we're not used to this stuff. We don't care about regular season games, Of course, I notably am not a Chiefs fan, but in my time being here, listening to you guys, listening to Cody and Gold, people at the station, like there is a consensus that it certainly feels like this game isn't necessarily a bye week. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's a game in which, we're not going to go full Rex Ryan and say it's a bye week, but it's a game that Chiefs should be winning, where if you take pound for pound, each position group, I think Cody brought this up as well, pound for pound, each position group, the Chiefs have better rooms in pretty much every single category. Offensive line, defensive line. Maybe you can make an argument maybe you can make the argument there for the Houston Texans, but secondary, very good on both sides of the ball. Linebacker core, really solid on both sides of the ball. Wide receiver room. Houston Texans are beat up a little bit. I think Robert Woods is a solid wide receiver. I think John Mechie is a solid wide receiver. But collectively, they are not as good as DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, anybody else included in, if we're talking receiving, Travis Kelce included in this, Hollywood Brown, running back-wise. Maybe Joe Mixon is a better player than Pacheco and also Kareem Hunt. But if you look at what the Chiefs do well on defense, they stop the run particularly well. They are one of the best teams in the league in stopping the run. So Joe Mixon's going to have a harder time also being on a little bit of a hurt ankle. And I love me some Joe Mixon. If you know my fandom, I love me some Joe Mixon.
Of course.
Joe Mixon's going to have a hard time in this game because the Chiefs do things so well. If you look pound for pound at each position group, it's difficult to say and make an argument for anything, but maybe the defensive line, that Houston has got a better blank. Maybe punter. Tommy Townsend, former Kansas City Chief. Maybe you say, you know what, Tommy's better than Matt Araiza.
Best hang time in the NFL.
But again, if we're talking about punting, it's a problem. If
this comes down to punting.
If Houston is punting, that's a problem. If Kansas City's punting, that might be a problem. If it comes down to punters, that's not a good thing.
Speaking of punters, our guy Dustin Colquitt banging the drum at Arrowhead today.
That's right.
Joined Fesco and Dusty yesterday on the road. He is super pumped. It's his first time ever doing it. So if you're at Arrowhead like I will be today, cheer him on. He's ready to go.
I don't know if you guys saw Danon's tweet. Danon tweeted about 15, 20 minutes ago. Is it time yet? When is kickoff?
Come on.
Danon is buzzing. You're going to hear from Dane and also Josh Klinger, Dan Israel, Chiefs Radio Network. Pregame coming up here in about 15 minutes. We've got one more segment. Mac and I are going to give you our game predictions. Who do we think is going to win and by how much? That comes next on Chiefs Extended Pregame right here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs and Texans on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. That's code 965 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then. 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or Hellsberg.com.
Midwest Auto Services has professional technicians, one-on-one service, and they accept most extended policies. Midwest Auto Services. Call 816-224-4247 or go to MidwestAutoservices.com. Partner with the best. Midwest Auto Services, Blue Springs.
When a KU versus K-State rivalry game begins, emotions run high. Legends are created. School pride hangs in the balance. Memories that last a lifetime will be made, because each game is the most important game in history. At least, until the next one. Get in the game with your chance to win up to $50,000. The Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery. See kslottery.com for details.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Get a free any-size coffee with Casey's Rewards. See Casey's Rewards for details.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Are you looking for a new job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK, the number 4, TP to 85000 to apply today.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC part solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
It's real simple. You got 2 more quarters and that's it. Now, most of you have been playing this game for 10 years. You got 2 more quarters And after that, most of you will never play this game again as long as you live. I want you to take a moment, and I want you to look each other in the eyes. I want you to put each other in your hearts forever, because forever is about to happen here in just a few minutes.
I got my fans in the stands, my team on my back, my family in my heart. I put my city on the map. See,
we are back for extended pregame. Chiefs extended pregame. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey. Before something's played that shouldn't be played. But hey, it's supposed to amp you up.
Exactly. You ready to go, baby? Is it 3:30 yet? Gosh.
Yeah, we got it.
Certainly not, because I don't have Fireball in my system yet.
Well, as you're getting Fireball in your system, maybe you're tuning into Dane and Hughes, Dan Israel.
That's exactly right.
And also our guy, Josh Klingler, for Chiefs Radio Network pregame. Mac and I with you for just a little bit longer. We're going to give our game predictions as well. But it all comes down to this moment. It feels like we're going straight into it, but we still got to wait a little bit longer, which is exciting. But also, you're almost like Danon's tweet, like, when is kickoff? Please, like, let's just fast forward. Let's get to 3:30, please, to open up the divisional round between the Chiefs and the Texans. Also, Mac told me that Gold is waiting around to drive you out to Arrowhead. So shout out to Gold.
Shout out to Alex for sure, brother. Got to cancel the Uber, massive for me, so that is very nice. He'll pick me up. I'll get to change on the way there. Already put the long johns on, so don't got to take off my pants, Alex. So no worries there. Take a couple Fireballs and, get ready to go. So, appreciate that.
913-586-7965. We are going to have our game predictions now. So Mac already kind of gave his, but we'll have Mac give his again. 913-586-7965. Last chance to text in your game predictions. What's the score? Who do you think's winning? We did have one person say Texans 19-17. There's a lot of people, before I give my pick, who are coming into this game. And also, thinking, maybe Mahomes, maybe this isn't the same Mahomes. This isn't the Kansas City Chiefs team of the same, Mac. There's a lot a people who are... Mike, I don't know. I don't know about this Mahomes guy. Left tackle, Juwan Taylor. I've been saying it the last couple of years, boys.
Oh gosh.
There's a lot of people who would say anybody but the Chiefs, including the team that I root for. But guess what today is? It is a Chiefs victory. We're going to be talking about it on Monday, a Chiefs victory Monday, I believe. Give me 27-23, Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, okay, a little closer.
But I think that, so the scoreline looks closer than what I think it actually is going to be. I think there's a point where it's the Chiefs are up comfortable. Maybe the Texans score a touchdown, get to 23, or they're down by a touchdown. They cut it to 3 with like 7 or 8 minutes left, 6-7 minutes left. Chiefs take up the rest of the game by a long drive and they end up winning, or something along those lines. I feel like the Chiefs are ahead for. Going into the fourth quarter, it feels like a comfortable margin. Houston makes it close, but it's not as close maybe as it seems. Kind of like the first matchup. Give me 27-23, Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. Any touchdown scores? One. Give me one lock.
Oh, okay. Well, a lock. My bet on social media, the best bet was Mahomes over 248.5 passing yards.
Okay.
I think Xavier Worthy's a lock to score a touchdown. That man has been on fire, it seems, lately. I know that.
Who'd you say? Xavier?
Xavier.
Yeah,
I know Travis Kelce is a hot pick. I know that DeAndre Hopkins is a hot pick. It just feels to me like Xavier Worthy is going to get into the end zone. I don't know if it's receiving or it's a deep ball. Personally, somebody on the text line did point out there's one deep ball he did get. I want them to take a shot, and I want them to throw it to Xavier Worthy again. I don't know how it's going to be scored, but I think Xavier Worthy's getting in the end zone. How about you, Mac? Do you have an automatic touchdown score?
Travis is scoring today. Yep. Hopkins would be up there for me. I think a revenge game, Hopkins game.
Do we know if Taylor Swift's going to be at the game yet?
Oh, God, she's got to be there, right? Of course. I forgot my binoculars, so I'll have to find her in the press box. But don't worry, I will find her. From the 816.
My binoculars.
From the 816 says he's a Raiders fan. 31-17 Texans. Well, of course a Raiders fan would say that, right? Now, listen, this is the time where you get to come out of the weeds. You've been looking at mock drafts. You've been looking at Tankathon. And now you get to come out here and act like you've got something, some skin in the game here. So that's good for you, brother. That's good for you.
Come out of where?
I don't know. Where did he come? Where did I say he came
out of the weeds?
He came out of the weeds.
Jeez.
That's where he came out of.
From the 913, Pacheco over 51.5 rushing yards is a lot.
I agree, 913.
I love Isaiah Pacheco, man.
I
The
do
style
today,
of
too.
run, it's so much fun to watch.
And he has, Pacheco's never lost a playoff game. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Pacheco is, what is it? It's 7-0, I guess, in playoff games. So, and he's ran for over 50 or 60 yards in pretty much all those games but one. I think he gets going today. Yes, he didn't look his best these last couple of games when he was getting healthy, but he's getting reintegrated, getting back, getting up to full speed. I think we see the real, true Isaiah Pacheco today. From the 913, 23-19 Chiefs. That's a close game.
It's an interesting scoreline as well.
That is.
I'm hoping for a good game. That's what I want. I don't know if I can do another blowout weekend.
It feels like when we opened the show, we had the more boisterous, confident fans starting, and now we're at the end of the show, and these score predictions are getting a little tighter, a little closer here as we get closer to...
Yeah, we were seeing 41-17, 48-17.
That was like all the score predictions. Now we're getting closer to the Chiefs pregame with Dana and Dan and Mitch and Josh and all those guys. It's a little tighter scores.
So to recap everything, again, we had every single personality on from 96.5 The Fan. Rob says 31-17 Chiefs. Bob Fesco, of course, 35-0 Chiefs. C-Dot 26-20 Chiefs. Dusty Likens 31-17 Chiefs. Bink is going 24-17 Chiefs. Cody 27-20. Briscoe 31-13. Gold 34-23. I'm saying 27-23. Mac goes 31-17 Chiefs. That's going to do it for us. Chiefs Extended Pregame. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for 3 hours. We're going to send it out to Dane Hughes, Dan Israel, Josh Klingler. Enjoy the Chiefs Radio Network pregame. I'll say it. Matt can say it after me. Go Chiefs. Logan Weber has extended postgame after the game.
Go Chiefs, baby.
You're listening to extended pregame coverage of Chiefs